This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Psst, we bought that action. The place for the realest conversations.
I appreciate United Garden Homes for stopping through with a check for $2,000.
Yes.
Some people came through anonymously.
Yes.
Dropped off money. The family has received those funds. And whatever you can do, if everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
Did you ever think that you would be in this position right now where your daughter would have some way lose her life?
I didn't want to believe it. All the times I called, sometimes the phone would ring and ring and ring for days. I didn't want to know that she had successfully committed suicide.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we're staying in our cell. We get fed in our cells. We don't come out our cell at all, and that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Yam, pam, jam.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, wow.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. Hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Speak up to you both. Thank you so much. Tory, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering, awesome. Where's Tory? Like,
tell Tony, all aboard. It's okay to jump on the love train.
I'm not jumping on the love train.
We might got a couple seats left.
Listen, he ain't going to be, Jordan Love will not be the starter in 5 years.
Trash. That's a trash.
That's just my take.
Now you're trying to string it out.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Well, I'll need some apologies from the staff of 101.7.
Oh, wow. Wait a minute. I think the line's messing up. Hey, Eddie. Oh, I guess something happened with Eddie.
Hush up, boy.
And they have an agenda. And the agenda is a satanic one. I don't know why people don't talk about it. You can't talk.
Yo, they just empty.
I want to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cups. And that just inspires me to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm. Stay focused.
Now, live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Wavy boy, go crazy.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory, Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory, Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show. Live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants to smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How you doing, DJ Brother Z?
It's Taco Tuesday.
And how y'all doing out here in Radio Land? Truth Nation. Hey, thank you for joining me this March 25th, 2025. We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Now look, before I get into the show today, we gotta continue because we only gotta, I think this is the last week in March that we get to talk about self-care, and I've been trying to do a good job of it. I've been trying to do a good job of coming on the air every day and just horning in on how we can improve ourselves with self-care. March is officially Self-Care Month right here on the Tory Lowe Show. And I think that we have done a great job, DJ Brother Z, of trying to start the show with positive ideas of self-care. And I've been adding it to my life. I've been adding some of the things that we talked about. You know, I did a little research. I just started adding it, you know, to myself this month, because who don't want to improve themselves? Who don't want to improve themselves? And matter of fact, the topic today is all about that. The topic today is all about improving yourself. I want to focus on today, when it comes to self-care, personal growth and development. Personal growth and development when it comes to self-care. And I'll tell you this, a lot of people, they don't focus on their personal growth and development. Ain't it a GD, growth and development, the gang? Wasn't they called the Gangster Disciples? Growth and development.
Gangster Disciples.
It was, but it was originally, I think, growth and development, right? But that's powerful if you can continue to grow and develop. And a lot of y'all stop growing. So a lot of y'all act like y'all in high school. You know, a lot of y'all, you know, y'all stop growing and developing. A lot of y'all in y'all relationships, y'all got comfortable. Y'all stop growing and developing. A lot of y'all got to work on it. We all got to work on it. We all need, every day is an opportunity to get it right. Every day is a new day for growth and development. Salute to everybody in the chat. Not really a city girl. Good afternoon. Love them. Good afternoon. Hey, look, they already in the chat, DJ Brother Z. We getting started early on the show. But personal growth and development refers to the process of intentionally improving and expanding your knowledge, skills, and character to achieve your goals. Understand, you got to intentionally focus on growth and development. Some people think it just comes natural with living life. Yeah, you'll get some experiences just by living life. But with growth and development, you have to be intentional. You got to intentionally work on improving and expanding your knowledge and skills and character to achieve your goals, enhancing your well-being and increase your overall quality of life. Now, that's all what we're trying to do. That's all what we've been trying to do is increase our quality of life. And I'll tell you this, it takes work. It takes work, and it takes consistency to practice real growth and development, because a lot of y'all stuck and y'all don't understand, how do I get to the next level? You got to practice growth and development. You got to come up with ideas and strategies to increase your overall quality of life. You can't get stuck. You can't get too comfortable. You know, you can't say, okay, this is it. This is about as far as I'm going to go. Now, if you say that, then that is about as far as you're going to go. But if you say, okay, I got a plan, I got a strategy, got an idea, and you come up with a way to achieve those goals, you can improve your quality of life. It can happen. Yeah, I'll tell people this. It takes a lot of work to climb the hill of success. You have to work on it. You have to be consistent. And you can't make a lot of excuses on that road. Yeah, things will happen, mishaps, maybe some misunderstandings may happen. Sometimes you may not have the knowledge, so you may have to bump your head a couple times, but the correction has to be there. The ability to understand, okay, where the mistake happened and to correct it, it has to be there. You're going to make mistakes. But it's not about the mistake. It's about how quickly you can recover and learn what not to do. Okay? Now, I'll say this. By investing in yourself, you got to invest. Y'all always talking about, somebody always trying to come to you and ask you for a few dollars to flip the money. Hey, somebody always, got a plan of what to do with your money. But you can come up with your own plan on what to do with yourself and your assets and your money. You can do it yourself. It just takes a little energy. It takes a little time. It takes a little bit of understanding on researching and educating yourself. You can do it. But investing in personal growth and development can enhance your self-awareness and confidence. Self-awareness, confidence. We talked about self-awareness. Building up confidence. Not going to the store and buying an item or maybe a piece of clothing or a pair of shoes or just because you dressed up and fitted today, you feeling confident. That's not long-term confidence. Real confidence is building the mind, building the spirit. That's real confidence. When you're able to build your knowledge. My granddaddy used to tell me they could take everything material from you. They could take your car, they could take your house, you could lose your clothes, you can lose anything material, but you know what they can't take away from you, DJ Brother Z? They cannot take away what's in your mind. Like that can always be there, and you can always have that as a resource for yourself. That's why you build your mind up. That's why you build the knowledge that you can work with in your goals. You can build that up where you become valuable. Your mind is powerful if you use it to become valuable. Maybe learn a craft, a skill that people will always need to have. That's why I like the trades. Because if you learn the trade, somebody always going to need a plumber. Somebody always going to need a haircut. You see, I got a haircut. I'm trying to tell you, these are things, valuable things that we need to really refocus on and have common sense about self-awareness, self-development, personal growth. Personal growing also improves your relationships and communication skills. Like some people don't know how to communicate, but when you do, self-development, it improves your communications. It improves your relationships. Now people can come to you and get knowledge from you. So now people can come to you and get an understanding from you. I'm telling you, It improves your overall well-being and quality of life. This is powerful. This is powerful. And I think that we need to start teaching our youth these things. We always talk about, we assume that somebody's around teaching our young people these small nuggets. We assume that somebody is around these families giving them real guidance. But many times that's not the case. Many times it's get it how you live. And many times the people that's instructing these young people, giving them the path to destruction, and about time you see that path of destruction, it's too late. It's too late. Now you're working from behind. We got to regroup, rethink, and reshape our conversations so we can get ahead through personal growth and development. Understanding and improving ourselves, developing emotional intelligence, managing stress, managing anxiety. And we can always say we grew up a certain way and things happened to us. Everybody got a story about what happened to them when they was coming up. Everybody got a story. But it's not about the story. It's about the glory in the story. You got to get the glory in the story. You got to find your glory in your story. Yeah, everybody got a bad, sad story about coming up in the neighborhood and family issues and maybe got mistreated and abused. But you got to do your personal growth and development to get the glory out of your story. That's what I want to hear, DJ Brother Z. I understand. I got a million sad things that happened to me. I can run them down, but I'd rather tell the glory. I'd rather tell how it was overcame. Personal growth and development. It's powerful. It's powerful, Truth Nation. I'm telling you, this is the time to self-reflect and concentrate in building ourselves to challenge what we see, to challenge what we see outside. But you can't challenge what you see outside if you don't even know what's going on with yourself, how you're able to respond, what gifts do you bring to the table, what knowledge do you have to give. This is the time. Self-care, self-awareness, reflection, meditation, mindfulness. Words that most people won't discuss, normal ideas that are free that you can add today. Hey, all right, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to get into the show. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
And that's Tory Lowe, bringing you all the action and all the smoke.
It's Kyle Wallace, host of Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, and I want you to tune in every day from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. as I engage in a community conversation I know you want to hear. From topics like our property tax bill price hike, which I know had us all shaking our heads, to the incredible MPS students getting millions of dollars worth of scholarships to pursue their dreams, I have you covered, Milwaukee. So tune in to Truth to Power every day from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
What are some of the things that we need to really focus on to get our fair share of these opportunities, i.e. access to capital?
You know, it's very important to always think about building a strong business plan, understanding the financial parameters around what you're trying to accomplish, building great networks and great relationships so you can have partnerships in building out your dream, and then finding a good financial partner like Old National to help really orchestrate orchestrate your vision of the organization. And then, as you know, DT, you wouldn't be where you're at because you're phenomenal, doing great work. And then you have to really have to go to work. If you have that dream, you have that vision, the business plan, the financial piece, then you have to really work at it and keep building.
Learn more about the Old National Bank Small Business Empowerment Loan by visiting oldnational.com/small business or contact a small business banker at Old National Bank.
Milwaukee, there are two ways to get things done, and they both take time. One is a request, and the other is a mandate. We Energies has raised rates 7 times in the last 12 years, and now they're planning new gas plants and extending the life of old coal plants in Oak Creek. We need a mandate. No new power plants or coal extensions until affordability is guaranteed for all. Join us at the public hearing on Tuesday, March 25th at 1 p.m. at the Oak Creek Community Center Ballroom. It's time to show up, speak out, and demand change. Milwaukee, let's make our voices heard.
Keep your business safe, secure, and spotless with the Omega Security Guard and Cleaning Team. Proudly located in Milwaukee and female-owned, Omega delivers professional security and tailored cleaning services to meet your needs. Whether it's event security or a custom cleaning plan, their dedicated team goes above and beyond to exceed your expectations. Because at Omega, they're not just your service provider, they're your partner in peace of mind. Contact Omega Security Guard today or online at omegasecurityguard.com. Omega Security Guard and Cleaning, protecting what matters most.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The money and power I got. Couple friends, I don't got a lot. New friend on my right when I'm making a left in a Lambo, I'm bending a block. I hop out the whip, they give me a bite, I'm so fly, I got everyone shot. If she ain't got the brain, she can't be a 10. By the builder, I'm the handyman. Fable, Laffy Taffy, Candyman. Cause I've been snapping since the 2010s. Somebody tell them to stop. Dean making up ops. For the money, she making it pop. Taylor Swift, yeah, they making it pop. In the spider, I'm dropping the top. Front row Balenci look like Illuminati. They tryna see if I'm evil or not. She say she wants some Tiffany.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. River Hills man was sentenced to 21 months in prison for paying health care kickbacks that defrauded Medicaid and Medicare programs of more than $2.2 million. This is what authorities is saying. This happened Monday. Justin Drew Hansen received a sentence on March 21st for violating the anti-kickback statute, according to U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of Wisconsin. We got some video, if you're watching as we broadcast live on YouTube and social media. Let's listen.
A River Hills man facing prison time and millions of dollars in fines for paying health care kickbacks. The Justice Department says Justin Hansen was co-owner of a lab called Noah Associates. Officials say the clinic paid a drug treatment program to refer people for unnecessary drug testing and then billed Medicare and Medicaid more than $2 million. A court ordered Hansen to pay that money back and sentenced him to 21 months behind bars. We turn now to a 12 News investigation.
Oh, wow. Hey, the kickbacks. It was a lot of unnecessary things going on. We didn't talk about. When I say stuff ahead of time and say that it's a lot of unnecessary things going on and people, they stealing money, they cutting corners at the cost of the American people. Not only this last time around, a lot of people did a lot of unnecessary things to get more money when it came to giving out prescriptions, shots, whatever they was doing to get that extra money. It's all coming. It's all coming to the forefront. It's all coming to the forefront. I'm going to tell you right now, it was a lot of people that scammed, and got money. And that's why I don't have a problem with the government going through and trying to get that wasteful spending out of the government. Because the wasteful spending is from top all the way to the local, from the federal to the state to the local. It's been going on. And I'm hoping that everybody who, tried to do that little extra, you know what I mean? They took advantage of our trust. Hey, you need an extra test, or you need to take this medication, or you need to do this, knowing that they were doing it out of greed and not out of your best interest. Hey, I'm for it. I'm definitely for it. I'm definitely for all of this. It's a lot of discussion I'm not having right now because I'm just waiting. I'm waiting till it all comes all the way through, because I'll tell you this, sometimes you gotta let things unfold a little bit longer, because a lot of people gonna be backtracking in a second when they've been backtracking. Some of y'all will be talking out of the side of y'all neck, and then all of a sudden when it wasn't what you said it was, you get quiet. You don't come back and say, okay, it wasn't what I said it was. Somebody was in the chat because Ben was producing the show, and the wrong video about Trump and what was going on with the inflation, it was like the wrong video. But all they had to do is go look it up. And for the month of February, we started seeing positive outcomes when it comes to inflation from the Trump administration. All you had to do is go look it up. And it was the wrong video that played. But I was trying to tell people, okay, I told them, look at the correct video when it came to February of this year and the inflation from the administration. You could look that up. You can use your hands and Google that. But sometimes, I'll say this. Some people don't want to have personal growth and development. They stuck. And you got to let them stay stuck. And to do certain things over and over again and expecting a different outcome many times is insanity. It's insanity. And the one thing I'm going to tell y'all Democrats, I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all not the majority. Y'all approval ratings is in the trash. Y'all not, a lot of people don't even agree with a lot of things that y'all trying to do. America. And it's hard for y'all to swallow that. It's hard for y'all to swallow that y'all so far on the losing end that y'all approval rating then dropped so far down in the tank, and y'all still think that y'all got some kind of leverage. I don't know nobody that approval rating or the way that it's coming out about what y'all doing and all the stuff that's coming out. I don't know how y'all feel that y'all got some leverage on anything, because y'all don't. It's crazy to watch, though. It's crazy. I see it. I watch it. Hey, it's sad, too. That's why I try to do these self-care ideas, personal growth and development, because sometimes y'all done gave y'all done became agendized and roboted and botted out, and then y'all can't even see it. Y'all can't even see that y'all losing. And not only just because I said it. These are within the Democratic ideas that these polls and things are coming out, and within the party, and y'all not wise enough to understand, okay, we got to make some adjustments. We got to start making some adjustments, or y'all going to end up losing the next 3 elections, the next 3 big elections. That's what's going to happen. And I'm telling y'all ahead of time, so when it come out and people start, oh, I can't believe this happened. I'm telling you what's finna happen. I told y'all weren't gonna win this time around because of some of the things and some of the stances y'all was taking. They wanted to be mainstream. They wanted to be a mainstream battle of liberals versus conservatives. No, it's just a lot of that was trash. A lot of the stuff they was pushing was trash. The way they was managing it was trash. There ain't no more to it. It ain't rocket science. It was trash. But they still trying to fight. They still fighting. Still fear-mongering. Still ain't changed their ways. Okay. Don't be surprised if the Democrat Party turned into a third party, because they messed up the money. They messed up. The Kamala Harris campaign messed up $2.8 $5 billion? Now you're messing with the people that's giving the money. So don't be surprised if they move themselves around from that whole thing. Y'all think it can't happen? It can happen. It can happen because it's not trusted. It's not trusted. America y'all ain't winning no states, no red states. I don't see how y'all think. That's why nobody, it's a joke. You're supposed to change up. You're supposed to say, okay, this didn't work. Let's get back to the drawing board. But that ain't what I'm seeing. That ain't what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a ship that's sunk, but yet they still on the cruise. they still on the cruise, and the ship done sunk. They ain't even on the lifeboats. They just out in the water still on the cruise. Y'all think that the Democrats can't fall to a third party? Okay, wait. If the people with the money backing them see that as a bad investment, all they're gonna do is move to another party that got a little bit better trust. And right now, the Democrat approval rate and the favorability is down in the tank. And that's the truth. All the donor class got to do is move over and move their money to another party, and that party is going to become, it's going to replace the Democrats. You think it can't happen? Let that approval rating last for a while. Let it get to the next big election. You're going to see an independent party rise up. Not because of the individual, because of the money. Because that money gonna shift. And when that money shift, it can make anything happen. We done seen that. We seen that with Black Lives Matter. When that money hit, some of them activists seemed like they could walk on water. They was walking around here, y'all was amazed. How they doing that? That money hit. That money hit that account. But when, after November 3rd, after the election was over with, how come they ain't walking on water no more? How come it's quiet? The money gone. All right. Hey, look, when we come back, we're going to have a Pop Culture Report. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
With Donald Trump dismantling the Federal Department of Education, we need to make sure we have someone we trust running Wisconsin public schools. That's Democrat Jill Underly. As state superintendent, Democrat Jill Underly has fought to reduce class sizes, expand career and technical education, and she worked to pass a new literacy law that will help improve young kids' reading abilities. Her opponent is Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer. Kinzer is backed by the same MAGA millionaires that put Donald Trump in the White House. And when Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer was asked about Donald Trump dismantling the Department of Education, Kinzer said, quote, "It's fine." Well, it's not fine, Brittany. We need someone to lead Wisconsin public schools who will be a champion for our kids and community, not a puppet for Donald Trump and the Republicans. On Election Day, April 1st, vote for Democrat Jill Underly for state superintendent. Paid for by the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, authorized by Underly for WI.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Women's History Month. Listen to one of our incredible Truth teammates highlight the remarkable achievements of Black women throughout history.
Hi, this is Bailey Coleman from the award-winning 1017 The Truth. For Women's History Month, I want to highlight the woman known as the mother of Black Hollywood, Jennifer Lewis, for the incredible impact she's had on stage and screen for the African-American culture. Now, Jennifer is known for her more than 3 300 appearances for film, television, stage, and cabaret, performing comedy and drama as an unforgettable lead or a scene-stealing supporting character. Jennifer has established herself as one of the most respected, admired, talented, and celebrated entertainers working today. These days, you may know her best as the hilarious mother of actor Anthony Anderson on the top-rated comedy Blackish. However, Jennifer earned her title as Mother of Black Hollywood by playing the role of Mama to some of Black Hollywood's biggest stars, including Whitney Houston, Tupac Shakur, Taraji P. Henson, and more. Jennifer Lewis has been honored with a host of awards for her work in numerous television shows and films, including the Emmys, NAACP Image Awards, and of course the Black Reel Award for Outstanding Actress in a Comedy Series. Her impact as a stabilizing, loving mother figure in films and television has made her a key figure and an unforgettable woman in the Black culture. Thank you to the amazing Jennifer Lewis for her contributions and for being the mother we all had in our favorite films and television shows.
Tune in to The Truth as we celebrate the greatness of Black women all month long.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Bucks dropping a tough one last night in Phoenix as Devin Booker hit the go-ahead bucket with under 3 seconds remaining as Milwaukee fell to the Suns 108-106. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers on the missed chances late in the game.
I think we got a wide-open shot by Gary Green, a wide-open shot by Gary Trent down the stretch of the game that we just didn't make. It's a make-miss league. I think Giannis made the right decision in those plays.
Next up for the Bucks is Denver on Wednesday night. Over to baseball, where the Milwaukee Brewers wrapped up their spring training with a 4-2 win over the Rockies on Monday. Next up is the season opener in New York against the Yankees on Thursday. And lastly, over to college hoops, where Juju Watkins will miss the rest of the NCAA tournament. ESPN's Sham Charania reporting that the sophomore guard tore her ACL in her right knee. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
It's the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, it's time to start jamming with juice. This is the Pop Culture Report with Carrie Noni and Ben Jammin on the Tory Lowe Show. Tap in to see what's trending today on Pop Culture Report.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Pop Culture Report brought to you by Benjamin. It is amazing. And Carrie Noni Juice World in studio.
Yeah, I was keeping it juicy, y'all.
Hey, what's happening then?
What's happening then?
Hey.
I need to figure out why Benjamin got on his rabbit hole hat already.
Here we go.
Well, honestly, it's just because I wanted to throw my crown on.
It's not Thursday.
It's not Thursday, but I don't know if you know T-Lo, but I actually do rabbit holes every day. So
okay,
Monday,
I got
Tuesday,
you.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Okay, now it's unleashed.
Yeah, it's unleashed.
Rabbit hole unleashed.
Yeah. And it's so crazy now I'm talking to you about it, Tory, because the rabbit holes, basically, it started on your show.
Right.
Everybody used to be like, oh, Benjamin, you need to do like rabbit hole segments or something. So, hey, here it is. I do it on Jam with Juice each and every morning.
That's
from
powerful.
7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Yeah, man.
That's sounding powerful.
Gotta let these folks know what it is, man, because, you got to just keep your mind open. You got to keep your third eye open because there's so many different things happening out here.
You kind of look like the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz.
And I'm cool with that. You know what I'm saying?
And you got to get the
we got to get you a better
roof fix here.
What? Y'all.
Yeah. You got to get the roof fix on that.
One of these days, I'm gonna sauce it up a little bit more.
I got you.
But yeah, when I wear my tinfoil hat or my tinfoil crown,
you tuning in.
Yeah, I'm tuning in, man. I'm channeling the frequencies. You know what I'm saying? I'm figuring out everything. Like, didn't y'all find that suspicious? Didn't y'all find that suspicious? That district attorney or the lady, 40-year-old lady, she had died.
Right, just 43 years old.
Yeah,
it definitely raised an eyebrow.
Yeah. Don't y'all find that suspicious?
It is suspicious.
Isn't it suspicious?
I'm wondering what the investigation is going to with the autopsy is going to take.
You just want to say suspicious.
I do. Don't you find that suspicious?
We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's real stuff though. Like really, what is happening behind that? And then T-Lo, now that I'm actually here talking to you, Carrie informed me about this. But so I was thinking that this is some new stuff happening, but apparently this had already happened. Did you see that video that was going viral over the weekend where they were talking about the police had missing people inside of a home?
Right.
It was inside of a
in a
trap house?
daycare.
Inside of a daycare?
It was. I think it was
You
like
remember
25
when it was
kids.
like the family, the cops wasn't doing nothing, so the families that came together and like found the kid themselves in like the house and they put it on fire?
Oh, that's right.
That was like a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was a couple
wasn't it?
years ago.
Yeah, because that video has started to recirculate. So I was like,
because it's videos of these kids being found in these houses under the wall and in the basement.
Crazy.
So they're recirculating a lot of those videos. Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah, no, I thought that was I found that suspicious.
Okay, man.
Yeah, well, a lot of that is that this is what's really happening, and a lot of times people want to live in a space where everybody is fine. Everybody wants to go according to the mission statement,
right?
But really, it's real trifling out here on certain levels when it comes to what's going on with these kids. I talk about it every day. I try to make sure people stay aware because there is a thing out here where people are after the youth,
right?
And we got to just be mindful of that.
No, that's real.
No, that's a fact. Why are you looking at me like that, Ben?
I thought you said that that's a fact. I thought.
No, I said that's a fact.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, that's it. That's done.
Okay.
Why you over here drinking on waters you're not supposed to be drinking?
I got a rabbit hole you need to go down.
Okay.
I mean, is that up for me to throw a rabbit hole like this?
What's going on with you?
What?
You got the computer out, so our whole time I'm doing what I'm doing over here because you whipping your computer out. So I'm thinking we here.
Oh no, this ain't got nothing to do with what you got going on.
Never mind then. Let's go down to T-Lo rabbit hole. What you
No,
got?
I was going to ask you what's going on with Big U.
Ooh.
Have you been looking into that?
Who is Big U?
Big U is the gangster out in L.A. who was managing Nipsey Hussle, and he recently had to turn himself in because he's facing federal charges, accused of murder and extortion by the DOJ.
Correct.
Big U?
Yeah, his name's Big U. His real name is Eugene.
Oh, okay.
You know, black people, when you become a thug, you got, some hard name. But yeah, they call him Big U. Apparently, he has had a foothold in not only the Crip gang out there in California, but inside of hip hop for the past about almost 20 years. So a lot of times when people would have to come out and check into LA to make certain they be safe.
Yeah, checking in.
Yep. Big U would be supplying the protection, so to speak.
So he was the guy in LA that was doing that for people who would come into town, kind of like in Houston, that one dude would do it. What's his name?
Yep, you talking about Jay Prince.
Yeah. Okay, so he was like the Jay Prince of LA.
Somewhat, probably a little bit more the bootleg version. I'll say he's a bootleg version. Jay Prince. Right?
What, not as credible or something?
Hey, Jay Prince is a master don out here, man. Like, shout out to Jay Prince.
So who is that for the city of Milwaukee?
I don't think people check in Milwaukee like that.
Nah, they just come through.
People just slide.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't even.
We don't even have an economy like that to even that tell somebody to check in like that.
I guess, to some degree, I guess we kind of those people they got to check in with. Like, when you come to do radio in Milwaukee, you have to come to 101.7 The Truth.
Right.
If
they want to know what's happening
in. When I had met Drewski, when he came here with his show, I forgot, it could have been Records or something like that. I literally said, you need to check in with me, brother.
Yeah, that's real.
I'm who you check in with. And DJ Brothers, you reminded me of that in my ear. He said, they check in with you, Juice.
That's real. Right. That's real. They got to check in with us if they really want a great interview. Right. You know what I'm saying? Something that was
promote an event or something like that.
Promote an event is really going to touch the people, influence the masses.
If they want to spread the word.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them things. But in regards to Big U, Eugene, he had to turn himself in about like 2-3 days ago. And in doing so, in those 2-3 days, we just saw the whole time the Rolling 60s Crip gang, a lot of them folks had to turn themselves in just like today. So
somebody just blew the whistle.
And some people would actually allege that Big U or Eugene, who was the leader of this whole Rolling 60s Crip gang, actually snitched on people inside of the gang now. That's what they're going to go say. That's what they are saying. On top of that, they go on to say that Big U is the real reason why Nipsey Hussle died.
Right.
What?
Yep. So
Yeah, that's just what they're
Why,
saying.
though?
We gonna find out.
What allegedly, Nipsey Hussle, when he first got on into the rap game, he was signed to Big U. So he was signed to Big U in about 2010. So ever since, Nipsey Hussle had been more than affiliated with the Crip gang out there, which is the Rolling 60s Crips. He was out there with them. Big U had signed him. Apparently, Nipsey was looking to get off the record label around the time he dropping the Victory Lap album. Big U didn't,
which is in the 10th year. They said
in the 10th year, correct. So that was about the time he was supposed to separate from Big U. Big U didn't like that, so allegedly, Big U had a situation set up to murder Nipsey Hussle. So a lot of people would allude to the fact that, or the idea that Eric Holder, which is the gentleman who was sentenced to jail for killing Nipsey Hussle, some people would say that they thought that the FBI was in on getting Eric Holder to go kill Nipsey Hussle, but now more truth has come to light, and it seems to us that Big U, or Eugene, leader of the Rolling 60s Crips, actually set that whole debacle up, that whole fiasco up, to get Nipsey Hussle killed, because ultimately, as an artist, you're worth more dead than alive.
And then they're saying that in recent news, this is out at MSN, they're saying that the allegations and the complaint unsealed today reveal a criminal enterprise that engaged in murder, extortion, human trafficking, and fraud.
Crazy. But actually, it's not too crazy.
And they said it was all led by
closed doors.
They said he was posing as an anti-gang activist, and all of this was still going on. But I'll tell you this. When you look at what's going on and all of these RICO and all of these charges, a lot of these guys was on podcasts telling their information.
Like the Vlad TVs and the Arts and Dialogue. I feel like that's a newer one.
Yeah, Art of Dialogue is still ran by
What
Vlad,
was the one outlet where it was just audio? Clubhouse.
Clubhouse, yeah.
Yeah, that's where a lot of people was going in on Clubhouse, especially Whack 100 and all of the people that was around
Clubhouse.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Clubhouse kind of came and went as far as enthusiasm.
Yeah.
But what
the idea is good, though. Maybe they need to transform that. It could be the new
But they got all kinds of audio, these ex-gangbangers or people that have turned their life around.
Right.
Telling information on these podcasts. And I was trying to tell people, if you involved in anything that ain't right, you shouldn't be on podcasts.
I agree.
Because they going to get that information up out of you, even if it's on accident or even if it's just a clue to something that they need to connect the dots.
Straight up, man. Because I always think back to A.R. Ab. Do y'all remember A.R. Ab?
Right.
He was a Philly rapper who he took himself down. He was on video, audio, for whether it was Vlad TV or whether it was his own videos that he was posting about him being on the block, but basically snitching, talking about...
And in his music.
Yeah, and in his music. Talking about, this is my little homie Skitter. My little homie Skitter, he be out here rapping, but the reason why I like him is because Skitter really do what he really does what he says in his rhymes, B. He was like, I just saw this man kill a man last week. Next thing I know, I was in a verse. Oh, man, I love it. And this is on video. Right. AR Ab doing these types of things. But it isn't just AR Ab, it's just whole generation.
Look at Keefy D that they got for Tupac.
Keefy D, he released the whole book.
Yeah.
He released the whole book about
it. They just let these people sit back. A lot of these things was cold cases.
Right.
They didn't have enough evidence or anything to really get them. But then they just
got to talking.
Get somebody a microphone and they trying to put that bravado out there in the public.
An ego talk.
It's an ego, and then next you know they get tricked out of whatever they doing because the interviewer now you done brought this up.
Right.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question that may be something that the police had no clue.
Right.
And then they answering the question, they talking, telling the story, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, they just
now they rounding them up.
Even these rappers now though, they tell on themselves without even needing to be interviewed. They just put it right in a song. Isn't it two people that's locked up right now? Within the last 7 years.
Zech he kind of snitched on himself.
I'm talking about the one that killed who killed his friend or something like that.
Oh, you talking about YNW Melly?
YNW Melly.
Melly on my mind.
Yeah, and then there's another one. I feel like I can't think of his name, but they snitching on themselves. What's his name, Zach?
Oh, yeah.
Him too.
Yeah,
all of
that
them.
was a gentleman with the watch me whip, watch me day.
Yep, Salento. He killed
his cousin.
Yeah, he killed his cousin. So it's just one of these things that, man, we in a digital space now. We in a digital time, and I just know for a fact if you're gonna live a righteous life, in the higher ups' minds, they're going to feel like you're going to have to live off of social media to actually live a good life. But if you're gonna live off skirts, doing all the other stuff, you just need to stay away from any kind of cellular device. But that's why
get a trap phone.
You can get a trap phone, but that's why they said even how the mafia moved and stuff. The mafia wouldn't even be able to exist in today's time just because of how much data and technology is out here these days. Everybody's got a camera in their phone,
right?
And
they got Ring doorbells now,
and Ring cams. It's a Ring cam in neighborhood blocks,
right?
Don't y'all find that suspicious?
I'll say this: if you out here doing stuff in this time, it's tough, and it don't even pay. The streets is dead.
No, streets is
all
dead.
That's dead. All that extra stuff that they promote in the movies that people was getting away with.
Right.
These are not those times. Become a politician. If that's the case, they stealing money. But what I'm saying is the street stuff is gone.
Yeah.
It's not where it was. Even I ran into a guy that was talking about the early gangs in Milwaukee, and he done switched up. Went legit because he said that the game ain't
done.
What it used to be, what they used to do on the block.
I guess why they didn't think of it like that back then, though.
Well, because back then we didn't have all these cameras like that.
I mean, even just aside from the cameras, it's like, the street stuff is done now just because it's a bunch of cameras outside.
You misinterpreting it. The culture has changed.
Yeah, the culture. Okay, Jay-Z has.
It's a lot of snitches out here. It's a lot. It's multiple things going on.
I feel like it was always snitches, right?
Well, I wish.
Not to this degree.
Yeah, and I wish we had more time because yesterday I was having a conversation with a few friends of mine. We were even talking about gangs, how it used to be GDs, Vice Lords, Latin Kings, and people actually live by laws. People don't even live by those laws that they were with inside of certain gangs.
Got it.
So if you were a GD, you live by certain rules.
So just the idea of the streets is pretty much dead.
It is dead. Jay-Z has a line that sums it up, and this is about XXXTentacion, but he went on to go say, y'all killed X and let Zimmerman live. The streets is dead.
Got it.
There it is.
All right. When we come back, we'll have more discussion. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
President Trump and Elon Musk are forcing radical changes in Washington, from stopping payments for health care and threatening to restrict abortion rights to accessing Americans' private information. With Washington out of control, who we elect to the Wisconsin Supreme Court could be the last line of defense of our rights. The ACLU Voter Education Fund does not endorse or oppose candidates, but wants you to cast an informed vote in the Wisconsin Supreme Court election. So where do the candidates land on issues like abortion? Brad Schimmel stated he supports banning abortion. Susan Crawford successfully protected abortion rights while representing Planned Parenthood in Wisconsin. We need a Wisconsin Supreme Court that can be a check and balance to protect us when our rights are threatened at the federal level. On April 1st, Wisconsin voters will make a critical decision about the future of abortion in our state. To learn more about the Wisconsin Supreme Court candidates, visit aclu.org/WI2025. Paid for by ACLU Voter Education Fund, 212-549-2500. Not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
ACLU Voter Education Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
Let's talk about the opportunity gap. What's that? It's the way that factors like race, language, economic status, and family situations contribute to lower rates of success in educational achievement, career prospects, and other life aspirations.
That's not fair.
For nearly 3 decades, Milwaukee College Prep has been redefining what's possible. With 4 K-4 through 8 nonprofit charter schools in central Milwaukee, plus a pre-K program, MCP has been removing unfair barriers for children since 1997. Donate today at mkeprep.com.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, it's time to start jamming with juice. This is the Pop Culture Report with Carrie Noni and Ben Jammin on the Tory Lowe Show. Tap in to see what's trending today on Pop Culture Report.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. Pop Culture Report brought to you by Benjamin.
It's amazing.
And Carrie Noni Juice in studio. Juice World in the building.
Keeping it juicy.
Hey, what else is going on out here in East Pop Culture Streets?
We only got like 2 minutes. I was going to bring up the Omarion thing that you had mentioned before, Benjamin.
Yeah.
About how he was on tour and he was performing somewhere in some city recently. And he was yelling at the people because apparently they just was sitting down while he was performing. And he did not like that. Like, he started yelling at them. And this is not the first time that we've seen an artist yell at a crowd to, you know, have more energy, be more hype. But how he did it just felt like he was just angry.
He felt like he had privilege, like they were supposed to.
Yeah, he's like, get up, this is a show, get up, get out your seats. You know, this is a concert. And I'm like,
is this the Millennial Tour?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, a lot of their audience is, you know, they adults.
And I saw some comment that said, man, before you came on stage, it was Yin Yang Twins and Boosie. They are tired, bro. Like, they don't want to be screaming for you singing your melodies, Omarion. Like, dang. But it did just make me think, like, should artists nowadays kind of adjust to the new types of crowds that they end up getting? Because I feel like if you're going to try to sell out an arena and you ain't even putting out no new music that got hits on it like that, I feel like you can't really be mad if people ain't standing up and cheering for you. If you want people to be there for you, you need to have like an intimate crowd, like a small group of people who are your core fan base who gonna be excited to see you. But to have like a big old arena and expect everybody to be getting up on stage for you know, getting up and being hyped for you when you not even that relevant no more.
Music like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. And I also think it just comes down to like the fact of we are in a new generation, you know, so this new generation just celebrates things a little bit differently. And the idea that Omarion isn't, all those fans, they're not there specifically for him.
Yeah.
It isn't the Omarion show.
Yeah.
You know, so same thing when like Sexy Red was performing at Rolling Loud. She came out there to perform, but nobody moved, like not even an inkling, like not even an inch, you know, but it's because y'all performing at all these big events or whatever, or festivals, they're not there specifically for you, so you can't be mad if people ain't jumping up and down to your record.
I will say it is rude though if you in the front row and like a whole section of people just sitting down and you in the front. That does.
But it's
look
your
bad.
job to entertain.
That's true too. It just look bad.
It does.
Just say it in a nicer way. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
come on, guys.
Get up, yeah, clap your hands.
that probably would have worked better. Hey, look, I appreciate y'all for bringing the Pop Culture Report today. Truth Nation, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe. Join your boy Tory Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tory Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, U.S. Cellular, and Waste Management.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is back.
It is gone!
And you can hear our beloved Brewers home opener right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Second homer of the night from Jackson Churio.
On Monday, March 31st, hear the Brewers take on the Kansas City Royals with coverage beginning at 12:35 p.m., leading up to first pitch at 1:10 p.m. So don't miss the Brewers home opener Monday, March 31st, right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. Seven The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the second hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we got guests. Hey, you know we like guests, especially when they bring in resources now. You know what? So I'm going to need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Now, we got the Rental Housing Resource Center and some community advocate in the building, a combination of all of that. Hey, look, I've been waiting for this interview because I think that the community, when it comes to community advocates, they can use the resources, and there's a lot of resources to be had. So I thank y'all for coming in today because I've worked with some of the legal aid ideas when it came to landlords. Oh my goodness. And you know how it goes in Milwaukee, so many people, so many different issues. So when you have resources that come in like community advocates and the Rental Housing Resource Center, it's powerful. It's powerful.
It is. So
How you
first,
doing,
thank
Erica?
you for having us on the show. We're super excited to be on the show. So I'm Erica Crawley. I am the director of the Rental Housing Resource Center. So what the Rental Housing Resource Center is, it is a collaboration designed to address the eviction crisis going on in Milwaukee County. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the book Evicted by Matthew Desmond.
I heard about that book.
Okay, so Matthew Desmond wrote a book called Evicted in 2016. And what he did is that he lived with two landlords, and he shadowed those two landlords and 8 of their struggling tenants throughout Milwaukee County. And what he found in the year of him living with these tenants and these landlords is that one, eviction is not a cause of poverty, but it's a symptom of poverty. He talked about how when families are evicted, they go through cycles of instability. He talked about how when families go through the eviction process, there's a disruption in their life. So now we're talking about the kids' education. We're talking about mental health issues now. We're talking about added trauma due to eviction. He also goes on to say that while families are going through the eviction process, they have legal to no representation in court. There's a discord between landlords and tenants having some form of communication, and that any family, and that he found that a lot of the families are spending 60 to 80% of their income on rent. So if a family have a financial setback, more than likely they're going to fall into the traps of eviction and be vulnerable to fall into that trap. So at the Rental Housing Resource Center, we believe we are the solution to all of the challenges that Matthew Desmond addressed in his book. And how we do this is really interesting, right? So we bring tenants, landlords, and community partners together under one roof with the goal of eviction diversion. And what eviction diversion means is that it is our goal to prevent the eviction ahead of time, and or if a family is already going through the eviction process, how do we help them navigate that process and get them back to stability?
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful because as an advocate, I'm telling you, especially in the wintertime, I had a lot of women that may have some difficulty with housing, and they were on the side of the road. And many times I had to try to get them somewhere till we can find a place for them to be. And I think that this idea right here is powerful because whether they're going through the process or they're having troubles with the renting, now they have a resource that they can tap into.
Absolutely. And I would say one of the great things about the Rental Housing Resource Center is that the Rental Housing Resource Center does not work if we don't have all the partners. Like I mentioned before, we are a collaboration of partners, and the work will not get done if we don't have all these partners. So I do want to let the partners introduce themselves and kind of what they do and how they contribute to the Rental Housing Resource Center.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
We'll start working our way around you.
Thank you so much for having us. My name's Thank you. My name's Colleen Foley. I'm the executive director of the Legal Aid Society Milwaukee.
How you doing, Colleen?
I'm good. Legal Aid's been around in this community for 109 years. We exclusively serve Milwaukee County residents. We've had a close relationship with the Rental Housing Resource Center since its inception. We're co-tenants in the same building, and we work in close partnership with community advocates generally, and we have for years. We've been in the building for 10 years. And one of our flagship programs is around eviction. It's Eviction-Free MKE. That's going into its 4th year, and that has helped over 28,000 Milwaukee County residents to either avoid eviction or, certainly to assert their rights, and also to have a dignified exit strategy if it's time for them to move out. So I have great statistics about who gets evicted in our city.
Right.
It's not
I would love to know.
Yeah, and it's not surprising. And I have a 3-year report from this national data analyst, Stout, that I'm glad to share with you. But for the 3 years of our program, 78% of the clients we serve are Black or African American.
75%.
78%.
78%.
And we serve certainly other races as well, but when you contrast that with the community, approximately 39% of Milwaukee residents identify as Black or African American. So certainly a reflection of the bias that exists in our community and who gets evicted. But we're a proud partner with everyone in this room. Legal Action of Wisconsin is here. They have a terrific program. Also, the Eviction Defense Project that's set up at the courthouse for sort of 11th hour representation, and that does terrific work as well. So we all work in close partnership. we're proud of this work. There's, housing is a human right. We all know that because all of the cascade of terrible things that happen when you lose your housing in every facet of your life and your children's lives. So,
well, can I ask you a question? Because I saw a situation where a woman, she got evicted, but they locked her out of her house, but then she couldn't get to her belongings, and then from there they took her belongings and put it out on the street. And I think legal aid had to handle that situation or something to that effect. How does a person, when they're not able to get their belongings, is that legal?
It's not legal. There's a process, and even if you're behind on your rent or if you have a conditions issue, a lot of people self-abate, which you can't entirely self-abate your rent. But there is a process that has to be followed, and because of the work that we've done through Eviction Free MKE and in partnership with Legal Action on their project, there's a lot more tenant lawyers in the courtroom now, which, trust me when I say that makes a difference about how the law is enforced, and that people who are facing the loss of their home don't get steamrolled, and because it moves extremely fast. And again, thanks to the Rental Housing Resource Center, we have, I'd say, a better relationship with landlords, and we recognize where we have common ground. But certainly, you can't be put out of your home without proper legal notice. And we're interested in hearing about those cases. We handle over 6,000 cases annually, and about half of those are housing now. So we're glad to talk to individuals who've had this happen, because it is illegal, and then reclaiming your items is practically impossible once they're street side. And it's just a horrible outcome, obviously, when everything you value is curbside.
Hey, look, thank you. Hey, I'm happy that you're here, because these are the things that we need to be talking about, especially when it comes to housing and evictions. Been a hot topic for the last year, But thank you for coming in. Who do we have here?
Hi, I'm Mark Medrick from Milwaukee DNS.
How you doing, Mark?
I'm all right. My official title is Property Management Program Coordinator, but I teach landlord training, and I put together a tenant training program called Rent for Success, Milwaukee.gov/rent, shameless plug. And I sometimes provide some code enforcement experience too. Like, while I'm at it, I'll just mention, never met a tenant in my 6 years of code enforcement that felt in any way responsible for their infestation, whether it was bed bugs or mice or roaches or whatever. That's not how the state and the city look at it. Milwaukee Code of Ordinances, Chapter 275-82. It's called Infestations. It is a whole page of text about who's responsible for what. If it's a single-family house with no history of an infestation, and now you have roaches 6 months into your tenants, that's on you, tenant, 100%. If it's a duplex and one has and one doesn't. So, just stuff that people don't know, but once emotions get involved, people don't necessarily listen so well either anymore, right?
Well, this is, and you're over the Department of Neighborhood Services, and I've had to have people call neighborhood services. When do you call neighborhood services?
If I may, if it's not a 911 emergency, I recommend you call the Rental Housing Resource Center first.
So everything should always start at the Rental Housing Resource Center.
And then you'll
because what we do, I have triage specialists that will assess the client situation, and we kind of see what's going on, and we will refer out and or get in contact with the partners. Hey, this client is having a legal problem. This client needs a mediation problem. Sounds like we need to talk to the city. But everything should start at the Rental Housing Resource Center.
And this is something that's recently where we're organizing in this way. This haven't, because I've never, So this is just now where we have the resources.
Initially, the Rental Housing Resource Center was established in 2019, but then COVID hit, so we kind of addressed what was going on with the housing crisis and COVID, and now we're just kind of rebranding ourselves and coming back out and letting people know that we have resources as it relates to housing stability.
That's sounding powerful. Hey, all right. Shawanda. Hey.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me. Shawanda Lindenberg. I'm the Housing Department Manager.
Northside.
Over the Basic Needs Division at Community Advocates. And we partner with the Rental Housing Resource Center. Basically, we just want to make sure that individuals and families are able to secure and maintain safe, suitable and affordable housing. We believe that stabilization and help looks different for different people. So we really want to have folks coming into our office, listen to what they have to say so that we can determine what resources, what services, and how we can collaboratively try to assist and stabilize that household. So we don't want to necessarily throw money at a situation where this family ultimately cannot afford to stay in this home. So then that stabilization or that help for that family or for that individual may look like helping with arrears immediately, but then what type of plan can we put in place and help them with to help them transition into something that will be more affordable, that they can live in independently and dignified. So,
hey, look, Truth Nation, we got the Rental Housing Resource Center in the studio, and this is amazing to have this resource. I'll say this: when it comes to the women, the single mothers, the going through the eviction, sometimes eviction is like a felony for housing. Is there any remedy for getting an eviction off of your record?
So there is. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Legal Aid partners with the Rental Housing Resource Center once a month to do a ceiling clinic. And so we can schedule that, and we try to schedule those electronically, but people can walk into, and it's if you prevailed in your case or it got dismissed, we can help get that off your records so that you can, it opens the door to future safe and affordable housing. And Rental Housing Resource Center staff help us with that, run interference when people are coming in terms of getting paperwork completed. And then we have a nice arrangement with the Milwaukee Small Claims Court, which someone can take the packet, we help them prepare, go over to the courthouse and get immediate attention, don't have to come back for a hearing, and get that taken off their record.
Oh, that's powerful.
It is.
Yeah, because I know that a lot of times people move on from an eviction and they'll pay it off, or they'll still be lingering on their record, and it's kind of slowing down their process of finding a nice home, a decent home. We have a lot of issues with slum ideas. How much can y'all deal with the slumlord concept, where people feel like they're not living in the right units where they can, a respectful unit, I'll say it like that?
Yeah, I mean, conditions are really critical. Mark, I know, sees that a lot at the city. And when I mentioned earlier abatement issues, we recommend that you go through either the city or through community advocates to abate your rent. And again, you can't do it 100%. And you can do it on your own, but I just want to urge people, do not. And I've seen some really terrible pictures of where people live, but you can't deduct your entire rent.
What is the process to go through to do it, to actually make it happen? Go right in.
Well, that depends. The rent withholding.
How do you do it? Yeah.
The rent withholding, first, city inspector will come out and issue an order, and there will be a due date. Sometime after that due date, when the inspector comes out to re-inspect, if there are violations that are still present, with the exclusion of exterior paint, tenants will be eligible for rent withholding. They have to fill out a form, send it in, and then they will be notified that all of their rent is now due to the city. It's still due on time in full, or they can be evicted. Right. It's just not due to the landlord. And nothing gets the landlord's attention like not getting their money.
Well, hold on. You can't wait till the first of the month to try to do this. There's
a process.
A lot of people, it'd be the first of the month. They'd be like, hold on. This ain't fixed. I'm finna hold the money. Yeah. And no, it's a process.
Then now you're evictable. In a court of law, you're the bad guy, the tenant, regardless of the conditions. But rent abatement is a discount that never has to be paid back. And that is done in concert with DNS and community advocates.
Now, I'll say this. We have a hot topic that we should discuss, lead. The lead idea. A lot of the lead lateral ideas, a lot of times people are talking about lead and mold in the house. You know, is that landlord or tenant, or who handles when it comes to mold and lead?
No easy answer for that one.
Right.
So you would typically want to reach out to the health department if there is a mold or a lead issue. We are working to try to get lead to be part of something that we would abate for, or look at being able to abate for. But yeah, those with like lead, mold, those are all health department complaints or enforcement issues that you would go through the health department for. For like the Department of Neighborhood Services, I've just learned over the years that there is not a code violation for mold. There is code violations for conditions that will cause mold. So if your home or your doors or your walls or the foundation is not weather tight, is not watertight, then that will allow moisture inside of the unit, which will cause mold to grow. So those are things that tenants can draw attention to or point out to the landlord or to the Department of Neighborhood Services building inspectors that would be written up as code violations potentially that we could do rent abatement.
And to piggyback on that, when a tenant starts their tenancy, if the house is built before 1974, the landlord needs to provide them with a lead disclosure statement. Cross my heart, hope to die, this is all the lead I know of.
Right.
And a Protect Your Family from Lead in Your Home brochure. They're required to do that by law.
Now, we have a society where in Milwaukee where it's mostly renters, black community, we're majority renters. And how, when we talk about landlord, tenant laws, what rights do the tenant have, how do they get educated on their tenant rights?
I'm so glad you asked that. First, let me say.
He's been waiting for that question the whole interview.
Because tenants have rights.
First, I'd like to say that all of it, to my knowledge, all of a tenant's rights hinge upon them paying their rent on time and in full.
Yeah.
But after that, Rent for Success, it's an hour-and-a-half program. You will get a booklet to take with you, and it will discuss all of those things. It'll break down who's responsible for what and where it comes from. And I'm told Wisconsin has the most comprehensive, detailed landlord-tenant law of all the 50 states.
Okay. Hey, look, once again, we got the Rental Housing Resource Center in studio. When we come back, how can you contact them? We're going to talk about it when we get back. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Coming with straight truth.
Thank you for what you just said. I didn't even think of that last part you said of this. That's why you come to a globe head like you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do have a globe head. Look at that. Shining.
Okay, there you go.
I appreciate that.
No, but fair. Very neutral.
I try.
All right, then. I appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you, Mike. Take care.
Listen to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
With Donald Trump dismantling the Federal Department of Education, we need to make sure we have someone we trust running Wisconsin public schools. That's Democrat Jill Underly. As state superintendent, Democrat Jill Underly has fought to reduce class sizes, expand career and technical education, and she worked to pass a new literacy law that will help improve young kids' reading abilities. Her opponent is Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer. Kinzer is backed by the same MAGA millionaires that put Donald Trump in the White House. And when Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer was asked about Donald Trump dismantling the Department of Education, Kinzer said, quote, "It's fine." Well, it's not fine, Brittany. We need someone to lead Wisconsin public schools who will be a champion for our kids and community, not a puppet for Donald Trump and the Republicans. On Election Day, April 1st, vote for Democrat Jill Underly for state superintendent. Paid for by the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, authorized by Underly for WI.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
Milwaukee, We Energies has raised rates 7 times in the last 12 years, and now they're planning new gas plants and extending the life of old coal plants in Oak Creek. They claim it's for economic growth and data center demands, but it's an investment scheme where only shareholders win. We need a mandate. No new power plants or coal extensions until affordability is guaranteed for all. Join us at the public hearing on Tuesday, March 25th at 1 p.m. at the Oak Creek Community Center Ballroom. It's time to show up, speak out, and demand change. Milwaukee, let's make our voices heard.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yo, I go by the name I'm of Pharrell from the Neptunes, and I just want to let y'all know I'm your pusher. The world is about to feel something that they never felt before. Come on.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brothers on the ones and twos. We got the Rental Housing Resource Center in the studio. And the partners, I'm telling you, we got legal aid, legal action, community advocates in the studio. And we talking about rental housing issues that can be, worked on, resolved by the Rental Housing Resource Center. Erica, how can people contact the resource?
So just really quickly, I want to thank the partners for being here, but also just want to mention the partners that couldn't be here. That's also a part of the whole eviction diversion goal. So Mediate Wisconsin, I talked about earlier that sometimes all you need is a conversation with your landlord.
Salute.
So yeah. You just need to have that conversation with your landlord, and sometimes tenants and landlords cannot communicate. So Mediate Wisconsin acts as a third-party mediator. So if it's something where it's not a financial issue, but maybe you just need someone else to talk on your behalf, Mediate Wisconsin is amazing at what they do.
Salute to Mediate
They
Wisconsin.
definitely help cut down some of the eviction process. So I want to make sure we shout them out and talk to them. Also, Rental Property Association. I think I mentioned before that what's unique about the Rental Housing Resource Center is that it's not just about helping tenants, but we help tenants and landlords. We understand that sometimes it's a financial burden on the landlord just as much as a financial burden on the tenant. The Rental Property Association, they also are really big partners with us. They help us with all the information we need and help us distribute information to their crew of landlords. So I want to get the the Milwaukee County Housing Division Department. So thank you to Milwaukee County. They're another partner that's a part of the RHRC that also deals with eviction diversion. So I wanted to get those three in really quickly.
Thank you.
So if you need to contact us, the best thing to do is to come into the office. We will respond a lot quicker if you come into the office. We take walk-ins Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. We're located at 728 North James Lovell Street. So 728 North James Lovell Street, so right between 7th and Wisconsin and 7th and Wells. Please follow us on social media. So Rental Housing Resource Center, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on LinkedIn. We put a lot of our information on our website. We also share everything that the partners have on their social media website, so please follow us there. You can call us at 414-895-RENT, so 414-895-RENT, or send us an email, info@renthelpmke.org.
That sounded powerful now.
All of that.
All right. And the question for legal aid, many times a lot of people don't get the correct information when it comes to dealing with the courts, when it comes to evictions and things like that. How can they remedy this?
Yeah, if somebody, don't assume that it's on you, because there are some bad actors in the system who don't provide the proper legal notice. And in fact, we had one of those cases in the last year where it was a garnishment action, and the woman who it impacted never received legal notice to show up in court, and she didn't, and her wages were garnished. And so we brought it to the DA's office, and they charged this individual with 18 felony counts, and he got convicted. So don't assume. I mean, certainly tenants have rights and obligations, and we do community seminars and clinics on that. But take a hard look. Make sure that you got the proper notice, and if you didn't, give us a call or look at our website as well.
All right. And they can go to, what's the...
legalaidmke.com.
legalaidmke.com. That's legalaidmke.com. Mark, when it comes to neighborhood, the Department of Neighborhood Services, before this idea, a lot of times people would try to get in contact with neighborhood services if they felt that it was something that was messed up. But I think that I wanted to ask you a question about when somebody is labeled a nuisance property. Is that through neighborhood services, or, when people get those nuisance ideas on them? Does that go through that?
I believe that those are city attorneys and the police department.
Okay.
But But if I may, since we're talking about this,
right?
Good practice before you contact the city, make sure you document contact with your landlord. Hey, landlord, here's my issue. Here's my situation. Can you help me with this? Can you fix this, please?
Okay, because I'm running into a lot of that.
Right.
All right.
286 City, that's what we do.
Well, and Shawana, I got a question for you. When people qualify for assistance, whether it's the first month rent or arrears, how does that work?
So we encourage everybody just to come into the office if you're looking for assistance. Again, assistance and help and stabilization is going to look different for everybody. If you're behind in rent, you've recently had a loss of income, we'll just need verification of that. You've had a loss of income, verification that you are behind in rent, and then some verification that you will have the likelihood to maintain your housing in the future. So we want to make sure that we're not setting you up for failure, meaning that if we pay your arrears, we know that you'll be able to kind of carry on with those payments moving forward. So we'll check for that. For tenants that are moving into new housing or trying to secure new housing, we'll try to make a connection with what units are vacant. And then if they qualify for financial assistance through community advocates programming, they typically need to be coming from emergency shelter, or they're in a property that has been deemed unfit for human habitation by the City of Milwaukee Department of Neighborhood Services Residential Code Enforcement, or they are in a property that the lead levels are so high that the health department is recommending permanent relocation, and we'll help those families transition that way. We also help victims of fire as long as we can get Red Cross fire verification letters for those families, and we'll also help victims of domestic or intimate partner violence as long as they have a temporary restraining order in place and a police report of their last occurrence.
All right. And then, so I had a situation where there was a male and he couldn't find any resources and he was without housing, I think due to a fire. How do the resource work for men?
So it would be the same. We don't, and I'm glad you asked that question because we do get those questions where I'm a man and I can't get assistance, or I don't have any kids and I can't get any assistance, or I'm a senior citizen and I can't get any assistance, or I'm just coming out of post conviction, I can't get any assistance. So we don't necessarily have any programming surrounding an individual, right? We look more so at the housing situation, right? What is your housing situation? So if you are a male and you're transitioning from, just for example, incarceration, you don't have anywhere to go, we're going to suggest or try to get you into emergency shelter so that when you find permanent housing, you secure income, we're able to pay for the cost for you to get into a new unit, meaning we can cover your first month's rent, we can cover your security deposit, as long as we can verify that you'll be able to maintain those payments. We can also use, I don't want to say impact 211 information, but if you can't secure shelter, right, you're homeless and you cannot get into shelter, then it'll be hard for a shelter to refer you to us. But if you have a record of trying to secure shelter and you can't, then we can still use those funds to try to help individuals secure that new housing. And again, we just need documentation. So it would be a shelter referral. It can be, like I said, for a fire victim, we would just use that verification from Red Cross that family or that individual had been impacted by fire.
All right. Now, anything that we miss? Anything that we miss that y'all feel that the community needs to know?
Just wanted to throw out there, if you wanted a more elaborate explanation of how rent withholding and rent abatement work, Milwaukee.gov/rent for Rent for Success, the tenant training program, or Milwaukee.gov/landlord training, one word, no spaces. We offer the free programs with a booklet and all the information that you want.
Okay, get that information.
And Community Advocates also offers the tenant and landlord rights and responsibility training, which we provide a booklet as well as a certificate of participation for any individuals that come in to sit through that training. So,
all right, it's sounding powerful now. The Rental Housing Resource Center. Hey, thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
Is there anything that we missed, Eric?
Nope, I think we covered it all. I just want the community to know that we are here. I know for a long time people have been looking for help and they don't have the resources, but we are here. We have the resources. And although we are housing focused, our goal in the RHRC is to make sure we provide a resource for every basic need. So as Shawana was talking about, if you need like relocation services, we are building a list of landlords who have available units, and we're trying to place that tenant in those units. Now, the landlords still have to do their due diligence, right? You still got to run your background checks. do your paperwork, but that is something that we're doing. But we are here. We're here to help.
Right.
We're here to
the
help.
support is there.
Whatever you need, whatever questions you have, no question is a stupid question. Come in, ask the questions, get the help that's needed. And if we can't provide the direct service, we definitely have a resource for you.
Well, look, I'm excited. I'm excited for those out in the community. If y'all heard this, take the information. I also have information here in the studio if y'all want to call in. If y'all missed anything, we'll have the information here in the studio to refer you to these resources. And I thank y'all for coming in.
No, thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, Truth Nation, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Elon Musk and Donald Trump are out of control, slashing healthcare and food for hungry kids, eliminating the Department of Education. Now, Musk and Trump are trying to buy a seat on the Wisconsin Supreme Court, spending millions to elect extremist Brad Schimmel. And if elected, Schimmel wants to criminalize abortion, even in cases of rape and incest. Brad Schimmel, an extreme rubber stamp for Musk and Trump, and wrong for Wisconsin. We need justices who are fair, who know right from wrong. Judge Susan Crawford has spent her life standing up for Wisconsin and keeping us safe. She'll always protect our right to choose, and Crawford will be the check and balance we need against Elon Musk and Donald Trump. On April 1st, vote Susan Crawford for Supreme Court. Go to www.iwillvote.com to find out where and how to cast your vote by April 1st. Paid for by Power to the Polls Action Fund, not authorized by any candidate or candidate's agent or committee.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Finding stable housing shouldn't be a struggle. The Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center connects renters, property owners, and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Lovell Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. Milwaukee Bucks dropping a tough one last night in Phoenix as Devin Booker hit the go-ahead bucket with under 3 seconds remaining as Milwaukee fell to the Suns 108-106. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers on the missed chances late in the game.
I think we got a wide-open shot by Gary Green, a wide-open shot by Gary Trent down the stretch of the game that we just didn't make. It's a make-miss league. I think Giannis made the right decision in those plays.
Next up for the Bucks is Denver on Wednesday Wednesday night. Over to baseball, where the Milwaukee Brewers wrapped up their spring training with a 4-2 win over the Rockies on Monday. Next up is the season opener in New York against the Yankees on Thursday. And lastly, over to college hoops, where Juju Watkins will miss the rest of the NCAA tournament. ESPN's Sham Charania reporting that the sophomore guard tore her ACL in her right knee. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Two-tone young APs looking like Weezy. Happens inside in Cleveland, shout out and bleeding. I told her I'm big like B, but she ain't believe me. A whole lot of cups. All these hunts up my thumbs. Set drugs weak, shout out done killed my lungs. That's terrible, shout out hand still ain't done. Looking like rock. Popping that boy like pop. Popping that bomb like pop. Spit on them like pop. I'm in the about the rats.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. Hey, look, that was a powerful interview with the Rental Housing Resource Center. They got resources for y'all. So from here on out, I'm going to have to send y'all and direct y'all in that direction. Once again, salute to the Rental Housing Resource Center for coming in. Hey, with their partners, Mediate Wisconsin, Community Advocates, Legal Aid, Legal Action, the Department of Neighborhood Services. Hey, look, eviction-free MKE. If you're having problems and you need free legal help and more to stop these evictions, go to evictionfreemke.org. We got a lot of information. This is why I say, like, we got to be resourceful during these times. People are having hard times. They just need to know where the resources are. I'll say this. For years, I had to help a lot of people that were misplaced when it came to housing, evictions, fires, things like that. And just now, I've just been able to say, okay, well, now we got an organization that we can send everybody to that's in that area. And that takes a lot of burden off my shoulders. I think I got a couple people in my inbox that hit me up yesterday about this type of stuff. So I'm definitely for the screenshot. When I go to break, I'm going to screenshot the information and send it to them. But this is what we have to do. We have to become resources. Maurice M. says, thank you, Tory, for this. It was definitely appreciated. Where we got to make sure that we become more resourceful. And this year, 2025, we got to all tap in. We got to all become resourceful to each other. You know, it's not ain't nobody coming to help, ain't nobody coming to do nothing. We already know that. So we got to make sure that these resources, our tax dollars, are going to resources that can help. And this is where I feel that the power of being on the radio and being an advocate and making sure that we address some of the real issues, the real hardcore issues that is going on in my community is addressed properly, so we can have these resources, so we can move on to the bigger, more tougher issues. I always say people can't get to the bigger issues if they're suffering on the smaller issues, and that's the day-to-day living their life, trying to survive, trying to work, trying to find job, trying to find housing. You know what I mean? When it's a struggle like that, it's hard for people to actually come together because they're trying to fix themselves, fix their lives. And there's a lot of that going on. Milwaukee is about 39% black, 40% black. It's a lot of majority black, but when it comes to renting, you know, we're mostly renters, and like the legal aid attorney said, that we're like 78% of the evictions. 78% of the evictions, and I've been telling people the new homeless in Milwaukee is the people with evictions. That's a new homeless that's been going on. And I've been saying this since my show started. I said it when I was online before I even had a radio show. I was always raising an eyebrow when it came to the eviction crisis in the city of Milwaukee. But now we have some resources for everybody. So I'm definitely excited about this last interview because now we can have a place where people can go and try to get some resources. It's all combined together. Once again, you got legal aid, eviction-free MKE. You got financial assistance, rental housing resource center, 728 North James, Lovell Street. Once again, 728 North James, Lovell Street, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The number is 414-895-7368. 414-895-7368. You need to write these numbers down, even if you don't need the resources, just in case one of your family members or loved ones is having issues. You should take this information down and become resourceful. And you know how many times I had to mediate between the landlord and the tenant because they were in a dispute and the tenant may have felt that the landlord wasn't doing such and such. And the landlord only wants his money, you know, and rightfully so. He's renting out a property. And I'll say this, the mediation of the Mediate Wisconsin idea is powerful. So let's say you're having a situation with the landlord where you need mediation. Mediate Wisconsin. Visit www.mediatewisconsin.org, or you can call them at 414-939-8800. Mediate Wisconsin, 414-939-8800. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't mediate so many landlord-tenant situations. It was one situation a couple years ago where the landlord and the tenant had a shootout. It could get serious. It could get serious. I'm trying to tell you, I didn't even know how to mediate that. The landlord wanted them out. The tenant wasn't trying to get out. And they came blasting at the house. trying to scare them to get out. Salute to all of the partners that came through today. They also got the brief legal advice, Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinics, brief legal advice. I guess you can get some legal advice. We didn't talk about that, but 414-288-6912 if you need some brief legal advice. This is the Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinics, and they give, I guess, that if you got something going on with your landlord trying to get you out, and you feel like you got, you need some legal aid, some legal advice. Marquette Volunteer Legal Clinic. This is the number 414-288-6912. www.marquettelegalclinic.org. All right, I'm happy. I'm going to keep this close to me just in case I leave here and somebody try to stop me. And I'm going to give them one of these things. I'm going to give them one of these brochures. It's going to free up a lot of my time. It's going to free up a lot of my time with this. This was a blessing. Hey, look, I ain't going to push back against it. Somebody said, I need resources. Homeless. I was driving. Please send. I need resources. I'm homeless. I was driving. Please send. If you're listening to the show, I just gave you the number to the resource center. Call the resource center. That's the information. Let me see if I can pull that number back up. I got 4 or 5 sheets here of information. So you should, here go the resource center right here. And if I can get that number, here we go. The Rental Housing Resource Center. You got to write this number down, 2710. 2710 says, I need resources. Homeless, I'm driving, please send. I guess she's driving. DJ Brother Z, maybe, can we do the talk to text? Can we see something in the talk to text, like a image? Yeah. Well, during break, I'm going to have DJ Brother Z send some information, screenshot the information and send it to you. Hey, I'm feeling good today, DJ Brother Z. See, if you keep pushing. Oh, the number. The number is 414-895-7368. And this is to the Rental Housing Resource Center. See what they can do for you. Let me know. Let me know. Hey, we already got somebody already in the service right now. Well, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to get back into the show. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations, where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
With Donald Trump dismantling the federal Department of Education, we need to make sure we have someone we trust running Wisconsin public schools. That's Democrat Jill Underly. As state superintendent, Democrat Jill Underly has fought to reduce class sizes, expand career and technical education, and she worked to pass a new literacy law that will help improve young kids' reading abilities. Her opponent is Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer. Kinzer is backed by the same MAGA millionaires that put Donald Trump in the White House. And when Republican lobbyist Brittany Kinzer was asked about Donald Trump dismantling the Department of Education, Kinzer said, quote, "It's fine." Well, it's not fine, Brittany. We need someone to lead Wisconsin public schools who will be a champion for our kids and community, not a puppet for Donald Trump and the Republicans. On Election Day, April 1st, vote for Democrat Jill Underly for state superintendent. Paid for by the Democratic Party of Wisconsin, authorized by Underly for WI.
Milwaukee, it's time for a mandate. We Energies has raised rates 7 times in the last 12 years, and now they're planning new gas plants and extending the life of old coal plants in Oak Creek. That's an investment scheme where only shareholders win. We need a mandate. No new power plants or coal extensions until affordability is guaranteed for all. Join us at the public hearing on Tuesday, March 25th at 1 p.m. at the Oak Creek Community Center Ballroom. It's time to show up, speak out, and demand change. Milwaukee, let's make our voices heard.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
It's the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top, yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Diamonds dancing on your neck, better tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Getting money, get rich, baby, tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. MLB, icy gang, better tap in. Tap, tap, tap in. Wrist on glitter, waist on thinner. I'ma show you how to bag an 8 figure.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. It's a story out here, and I'm trying to get to it where I guess I'll get to it at the top of the hour because I'm trying to make sure I got some of the things that I need to try to present it. But it was a guy that I seen that had nothing to do with the story I was talking about. But this was a guy that I seen, and I'll tell you this, and we only got a little time before we got to get to the top of the hour, so I'll tell this story. This man was really cool, and he was talking to me about how school lunches. This is what he was talking about. He was talking about when he was coming up, before he used to get to the school, he could smell the school lunch. Like, it was so good that they were cooking it. They were cooking the food, and you could smell it. Smell the food. It smelled so good. He was talking about how they used to have granola, how the breakfast used to be so good, and that when the lunchtime came, you couldn't even finish what you was reading because the smell of the food filled the school up, and a lot of the kids were just, so eager to go and eat that lunch. That food was so good. And he said something that stuck out, because I agreed, because everything he said was true. But the one thing that I forgot about was the school lunch used to be so good that the teachers used to get a tray and go back into the teacher's lounge with the food from the lunchroom. Like, because they used to cook it, and it used to be, it wasn't all the way it looks now. In plastic, heated up, look like it's been heated up, microwaved. No, he was right. And he was like, Tory, this is why the kids is acting out of control, because they're not getting that love from the cafeteria. Like that good meal in the schools. And I said, when I was coming up, the best part of being in school was lunchtime. And we had this conversation. It was random. And he just wanted to let me know, like, why is it not the same? And then these children are in school. They don't get good lunches. They don't get good breakfast. And then they're acting crazy and they're going nuts. And I was like, there's probably a lot of other reasons factoring into this. But I'm going to tell you this. That lunch is a huge issue. And I think that, I don't know how we get it back to where it used to be, DJ Brother Z. But I do remember that the teachers used to go get a tray from the cafeteria back in the day, and they used to take the lunches in the room. They used to come to school for the lunch. I don't know. It's getting kind of strange out here, but that's what he wanted to talk about. And I thought that was an interesting conversation, because he felt like that contributed to students in the behavior in the school. And I said, it may be some other stuff going on. I believe social media got some problems. I think that peer pressure is at an all-time high. I think that a lot of things need to be resolved before they get to school. A lot of the emotions that they feel coming into the school, we need to work on that. But when you eat a good school lunch, back in the day, it was the teachers used to come and get 2 trays and an extra chocolate milk. Then you know what he said? You know what he said? He said that if you was cool with the cook, that the cook would give you a little bit extra, and it made you feel important. That's what he said. I started laughing because I was cool with the cook, and I used to get an extra milk, and you used to get seconds if it was anything left. Hey, he might be on to something, DJ Brother Z. Because I used to feel good after I ate the school lunch. When I was coming up, I used to feel like, man, I was ready for the second half of the day. We got time for Brian. Brian, you're on the new 101.7 The Truth. Tap in.
Yeah, you got a point, man. Back in the day, our food was so good. Remember the marked chicken legs and mashed potato? That marked chicken leg was all that.
Man.
But yeah, I blame Michael Obama for coming with all this healthy eating crap. That's all the food went bad when Michelle or Michael Obama, whatever you want to call it, on whatever day.
Is there any way we can fix it, man?
Yeah, bring back some Pizza Hut stuff up in there. Bring some Cousins in there. I guarantee you, whatever they're not selling out on the street, they'll sell it in the schools. Hey.
Maybe how do we get it back? Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe. Join your boy Tory Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tory Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, U.S. Cellular, and Waste Management.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Dear employer,
my name is Phil Martin.
My name is Michael Roskovich.
Ronaldo Bird.
Zach Deiser. I am writing to express my excitement at the opportunity to join your team.
As someone on the spectrum,
I possess a unique set of skills
that sets me apart from other candidates.
My detail-oriented nature allows me to communicate complex ideas,
to break down data,
to have no fear in meeting new people.
I may communicate in ways that are different from what you are used to.
Structure, routine,
and clear expectation.
Help me do my best work.
My autism allows me to have a perspective that needs to be seen and heard.
It allows me to make the world safer and improve systems in ways others can't.
It allows me to bring people's inner worlds to life with my artwork.
My autism
will bring your team important insights.
Thank you for your consideration.
An autistic inclusive workplace is good for business. It's time to make a change. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/win.
Prostate cancer screening is a simple blood test. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Your family history of prostate cancer increases the risk for all the men in your family. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Prostate cancer is most treatable when it's detected early. It's a simple blood test. Get it done. Men, it's your life. That's why it's so important to talk to your doctor about getting tested. If you want info on how to take action, the Prostate Cancer Foundation is here to help. For more than 30 years, PCF, a leader in scientific breakthroughs, has funded cutting-edge research that speeds new treatments into clinics, helping patients live longer with fewer complications. Go to pcf.org to learn more about prostate cancer and how you can advocate for yourself. Remember, it's your life, and it's a simple blood test. Get it done.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth, from 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready. 101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we got people calling in. They want to talk about these school lunches. Before we went to break, I was talking about this guy who told me how he felt about school lunches and how far they have fallen off, basically, from when we were coming up. He said he used to smell the aroma of the food floating through the schools. No matter if it was breakfast or lunch, you could smell the food and you couldn't wait to taste it. And now we living in a time where students have walked out of schools because they wanted better school lunches. They even got people taking pictures now of the school lunches, and it looked like some people are saying that it don't even look better than the food that they serve the inmates. We got Miss Carolyn on the lines. Miss Carolyn, you're on the new 101.7 The Truth. Tap in.
Hey, Tory, how you doing?
How you doing, Miss Carolyn?
First of all, back in the day and stuff, they had real cooks in the kitchen. And when I mean real cooks, they had staff in there. And they were like the mothers from our neighborhood because we knew all our cooks, too.
Yeah, they lived in the neighborhood.
You got some extra meals. So the neighborhood mothers, them and stuff, they were the cooks that were cooking in the kitchen. And then the food that they would get delivered would be real food. So the cooks was in the kitchen at 7 o'clock in the morning getting ready for the lunch meal. So they were cooking real home-style lunches like you would cook at home for your children. That's the difference.
Right.
The remark about the dude that said, called Michelle Obama, that's disrespectful. But anyway, what he said about the Pizza Hut, that's trash. Because, first of all, that's what's wrong with our kids. They eat junk food. They don't need no Pizza Hut in the school.
The pizza that they cooked in the school was tasty powerful. That was home
cooked. Exactly. So they just need to get back to that basic of having them cook and stuff and bring in those commodities that the government used to bring into the school. They would bring in the chicken. They would bring in the bread. They would bring in real products so that we could have real meals.
They had real ovens back then, too.
Yep, they sure did. They sure did. So that's what they need to get back to. They need to get back to home-style cooking because that pyramid was just as important. And we had menus back there, so we knew what we was having for lunch. And we were like, oh, shoot, we going to have peanut butter and chews this week and stuff. Be like, shoot, I'm going to get...
You made sure you didn't get sick on certain days because you wanted to taste that food.
Exactly. So that's all it takes. It just takes to get some cooks back in the kitchen cooking and tell that brother, don't be disrespecting Miss Obama like that because she's a black woman and he wouldn't want nobody disrespecting his mama.
Don't disrespect Miss Obama now. You don't want nobody disrespecting the mama. Your mama now. Hey, look, let me tell you something. People call in, they say stuff about Trump, the Obamas, everybody. So I just say,
I'm going to say this to them, Tory. You guys better read your Bible and better lean to God's understanding because he told us that we're not supposed to attack our leaders. We're not supposed to talk about them. We're supposed to pray about them, which in short means grow up people.
Pray for them. Yeah, Hey, look, like I said, somebody in the chat says, Maurice Sim, I think he said, Tory, I got a question. Is it okay to disrespect people? I don't practice it. But like I said, people call in all the time saying stuff about Trump and everybody. So that's on Sherry, you're on the new 101.7 The Truth. Tap in.
Hello.
How you doing, Sherry?
Hey, so I'm calling because I need to make a comment. This is like breaking news. I would like the city of Milwaukee, to know that the Milwaukee Transit Company is allowing its drivers to solicit sex from passengers, and they're also allowing some of the drivers.
Oh wow!
Are because it happened to me twice, and one of the drivers had the audacity to ask me if I would hold for him.
What?
And so when that happened, I have been trying to build up a case against the company because I went and reported it to a young lady by the name of Van. She's in an administration office, and she's aware of it. And she goes, "Oh, that's trafficking." Yes. "Oh, that's trafficking." Well, he's a trafficker, and you're going to see him regardless. you're going to see him. But he gave me a fake name. So I just wanted to put that out there since they're trying to gaslight people. And I need you to talk about that Brady's list. One of the state representatives brought that to light, too, because I think some officers might be doing some underhand stuff coinciding with the Milwaukee County, and that's supposed to be a safe place because they have those stickers all over the buses when you get on the bus. So
hold on, wait a minute.
Bring that
Can
to
I ask
light.
you a question?
I'm bringing that to light.
Let me ask you one question.
No, that's it.
Were you a victim of this? Was they trying to talk to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
And it was reported.
And you reported?
Thank
got
you.
a paper trail? Okay. I hope that wasn't the cops trying to come get her. I don't know. Hey. That's wow. Hey, she said she was a direct victim of this. What in the world did we just hear on the air? We're gonna have to clip that and run that back, DJ Brothers. We're gonna isolate that. I heard the police sound like the police was in the back. I don't know. Oh wow. That was not on the docket for the show today. That wasn't in my lineup today. Oh, wow. Hey, 833-212-1017. If y'all want to tap into the conversation today, 833-212-1017. If you want to tap into the conversation today, I want to get this update in on the firefighter that was arrested and accused of sharing photos of the brothers, the twins, that they found on the mountain down there in Georgia. They're saying that there was a firefighter charged. Authorities say additional testing is needed to determine the cause and the mannerisms of the death of the two twins. But they saying that a firefighter, why would he be showing the pictures of these young men? You know what I mean, DJ Brother Z? Like, you would think that. But that, this was the same thing that happened with Kobe when the people arrived on the scene and they took pictures after Kobe crashed in the helicopter. Somebody took pictures of it and tried to share it with people and got exposed for that. But it seems like a firefighter has been charged for obstruction, accused of taking photos of the teenage twin brothers that were found with gunshot wounds in a Georgia mountain this month. We got video if you're watching as we broadcast live on YouTube. Let's listen.
Tonight, a murder-suicide investigation in Georgia, leaving a distraught family with more questions than answers.
We want to know exactly what happened to the twins.
Police say twin brothers Khaidir and Nazir Lewis were found dead by hikers on a Georgia mountain earlier this month. The brothers, weeks away from their 20th birthday, each found with gunshot wounds, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, which says their preliminary investigation reveals the deaths to be a murder-suicide.
We knew right away that wasn't true.
But their relatives rejecting that characterization by police, saying the boys were close and had no history of conflict.
They're very protective of each other. I couldn't imagine them hurting each other because I never even seen them get into a fist fight before.
Relatives saying the twins had tickets for a 7 a.m. flight on March 7th from Lawrenceville, Georgia to Boston, where they were set to meet friends. But on March 8th, their bodies were found at the summit of Bell Mountain, 90 miles away from their home and in an area their relatives believe they had never visited.
How they end out in the mountains, they don't hike out there. They've never even been out there. They don't know nothing about Hiwassee, Georgia. They never even heard of Bell Mountains. So how did they end up right there?
Over the weekend, authorities saying autopsies have been completed on the pair, but a medical examiner ruling had not been released because further forensic testing was needed. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations has not disclosed if a gun was found at the scene or how the twins got to the mountain, telling NBC News the investigation is active and ongoing. NBC reached out to family members for more information, but did not hear back.
They had a huge support system.
Like, we know them, but they wouldn't do anything like this. Something happened in those mountains, and we want answers.
Priya Sridhar, NBC News.
All right, so this is making national news, Truth Nation, about these twins that have been found shot in the mountains of Georgia, and they're saying that a firefighter is charged after he is accused of sharing photos of the twins. I don't know why people would, do something like this. Scott Krillin, 42 years old, of Hawaski, Georgia, was charged with a misdemeanor obstruction after he was accused of taking photos of the bodies and then sharing them publicly. Hey, I'm wondering if they took an Uber. How did, when they were leaving, how did they get engaged with somebody else and in that place? Did they get an Uber ride? I don't know. I'm hoping that they can give us a little bit more details on this. They're trying to say it was a murder-suicide, and the family is questioning it, and they should. We got Henry on the lines. Henry, you're on the new 101.7 The Truth. How you doing, Henry?
Pretty good.
Blessings, brother. What's going on? Turn your radio down.
I was just listening to you on the radio. First of all, how you doing today, sir?
Blessings, brother. Blessings, brother Henry.
I was just listening to you on the radio. I wanted to comment about school lunch.
Yes.
But I also want to comment about those boys, too.
Go right ahead.
It's really sad about what's happening to our black boys around the world. But down south, it seemed to be something else happening to the boys. That is not being brought to the light. And it's just like, why is this thing happening to these young men?
I'll tell you this. They always they're vague with what's happening with the investigation, because if they got to a place where they never been, how did they get there? Did they do Uber? Did they do a Lyft? Or how did, they get misplaced to that? If they were flying and they didn't have a car, so something had to happen for them to be led out that way.
Yes, yeah, I believe I got a son too, so I'd be real worried about the things that he does, but I also just try to find out as much information from him about what he's out doing and who he's with as much as possible. Mm-hmm. You just got to keep your eye on your sons. We got to watch our boys. Our boys are growing up to be men, but they're getting real bad. I don't want to say training. I just want to say it's bad information on how to become a real man. So another thing, the school lunch. I had kids in school, and they used to come home and complain about school lunch every day. And it's like somebody else said on the radio earlier. We actually had real cooks back in the 90s and the 2000s. There were real cooks at these schools, and they need to get back to that. So
right.
That's all I wanted to say. I listen to the story. I try to listen to your show every day after work or when I can, and I rarely get to get on the radio and just speak my opinion. So,
hey, I appreciate you for calling in. And look, thank you. And like I said, it's appreciated. Once again, when we talk about these topics, everybody can join into the conversation. 833-212-1017. Talk to text 833-212-1017. Or hit us up in the chat and get with the family in the chat. The chat family going crazy. Salute to the chat family. And I'll say this. When it comes to what's going on in Georgia, okay, they was murdered. It's obvious that somebody did something egregious to me. This is obvious. Ain't no way these young boys gonna do this. And now, we getting pinches of information, you know what I mean? And I think that many times we don't get, when they try to cover it up, all of the information don't get out there. It don't get out there to the public. It's a couple news stories. You hear the family complaining about it, and then it goes away. We got a mother that came in right here on the Tory Lowe show. Her son went down to Mississippi and ended up with a mysterious type of situation where he lost his life with a rope around his neck. Okay, so, and they said that was a suicide. Okay, so all I'm saying is we got to make sure that we get ahead of the curve and try to protect ourselves as much as possible, because a lot of certain things going on, and we raising eyebrows, but we got to also keep our head on a swivel. Deja, you on the new 101.7 The Truth. How you doing, Deja?
I'm good, Tory Lowe. How you doing?
Blessings, Queen.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to the concept of like real food inside the schools for these students, but it's like a lot of the students that I've worked with over the years of being in education, me being through MPS, we get a lot of students always asking us, do we have food, because they don't like the lunch, at school. And what's even more sad is that some of these students also don't probably eat a lot at home either, based on their situation. Right. So to come, to school and have the same situation, it's just like,
it's
a lot of those students are, and they don't have the food, the nutrients that they need, to even just focus, because they're hungry, which means that can lead to irritability, and then it's just kind of like now they don't want to focus, and they're trying to figure out like also when are they gonna eat some real food,
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you
but
this.
Then also, my condolences as well to those boys. I want to say that my condolences to those boys out there in Georgia. That is very messed up.
Well, I'll say this: by you being an educator, do you see after lunch a frustration?
After lunch,
like after they have lunch or before they have lunch, or do you see a frustration, or do you see that they're unsatisfied with the lunch?
I would say it's definitely an unsatisfaction. I've seen the lunches myself. It's just kind of like, what are y'all, like, what nutrients are y'all gaining from that? Like, I wouldn't be satisfied eating that either.
Man.
A lot of the times the food looks like it was packaged up and just reheated and then given to them.
It doesn't look like it was cooked like back in the day.
Right.
Like
and
when
I had
we were
cooked
coming
food
up.
too, and I was class of 2018. We had cooked food. I don't know what happened. It's like after the pandemic, it's like everybody got lazy, or nobody wanted to be in the kitchen making real food.
That's wild, because sometimes the most nutritious meal is the lunch at school, or the best meal that some of these kids have was at school during lunch.
Yeah, and like I was saying, some students can't go home. They don't have that. They don't have the necessary. They're in situations where they don't eat at home or can't, and they look forward to that lunch. But when they go to get that lunch and they're looking at it like, this is it, it just makes them, I would say as being in their shoes, it would make me even more frustrated, and probably also not want to focus on school, because I'm thinking about where my next meal going to come from.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for calling in, because you are our witness to watching and seeing what's going on with the kids and concerning this topic. I appreciate you for adding to the context, Deja. Hey, that school lunch is serious. And when the man told me about the school lunch and we had the conversation, I really had to go back in my thoughts about how I felt after I ate a good lunch, at school. And then we had recess, and then we came back in for the second half of the day, and I was kind of like in mode to continue to learn, because I was fulfilled, satisfied, as far as me eating and having fun with my friends. I felt like, okay, now it's time to get back to work. But if they leaving out, not having a great lunch, and they coming back in frustrated, it probably is contributing to some of the issues that they facing. It could play a factor. When we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices, Milwaukee Black Talk.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We talk a lot about the unprecedented quality and service you get from Pella, but talking to the people who work there, you can tell how much they genuinely love what they do. Helping fulfill people's dreams is very rewarding to them, and it shows through their tremendous efforts. Pella consultants take the time to listen to each customer, finding the right solution that works for their home. They know that everyone's situation is different. Maybe you have a historic home you're renovating, or it's a new build with unique finishes. Pella designers can customize windows and doors to perfectly match any one-of-a-kind abode. They're with you from start till finish. It's like having a friend on call throughout the project and beyond. They don't disappear after the sale. So why wait? Get the Pella experience in this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Certain restrictions apply. Ends March 31st, 2025. Get started today at PellaWI.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Milwaukee, there are two ways to get things done, and they both take time. One is a request, and the other is a mandate. We Energies has raised rates 7 times in the last 12 years, and now they're planning new gas plants and extending the life of old coal plants in Oak Creek. We need a mandate. No new power plants or coal extensions until affordability is guaranteed for all. Join us at the public hearing on Tuesday, March 25th at 1 p.m. at the Oak Creek Community Center Ballroom. It's time to show up, speak out, and demand change. Milwaukee, let's make our voices heard.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app at 1017thetruth.com.
Love it when you smile, you're showing goodness, graciousness, gracious. Love it when you smile because it's goodness, gracious.
Retro.
Gracious. Love it when you smile, you're showing goodness, graciousness, gracious. Love it when you smile because it's goodness, gracious.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. Milwaukee police shooting. Body cam video released of a shooting. Body cam footage of a shooting of a man that they're saying that had a gun near 37th and Lancaster in early March. An officer fatally shot 41-year-old who police claimed was armed. The Milwaukee area investigative team is investigating the shooting. This one of the things I always say when they release the body cam footage, when they just put the footage out, that means that it was something wrong on our end, or on the person that was shot. They'll release that footage immediately. But if it's something on their end, you may have to take them to court to get that footage out. I'm trying to tell you. So when I see the footage come out like this, where they feel like they was right, they're going to put that out quick. But I don't know. I haven't seen the video. I read the story. They have video. We have a video in the chat. Y'all can judge for yourselves. Was it justified or not? We got the video in the chat. If you're watching as we broadcast live, let's listen.
Family of this man killed by Milwaukee police speaking out after MPD releases body camera footage.
Police say he was a burglary suspect killed earlier this month. Fox 6's Ashley Sears here in studio with what the man's family is saying tonight. Ash?
Yeah, Ben. Family identified the man as Anthony Virginia. They tell me tonight they are devastated by what happened on March 8th. Officers were called for a break-in with shots fired when they spotted two suspects. Police say one of the men had a gun. Minutes after a burglary, an officer spots two suspects walking near train tracks.
Let me see your hands! Hands! Both your hands!
As the men take off running, more officers arrive on the scene.
Get the car, get the car, get the car.
They were called to the area for a report of a break-in to a business at 32nd and Lancaster, with one suspect firing shots toward a person. Surveillance captured the gunfire and a car taking off around 3:15 on March 8th. Less than 15 minutes later, Milwaukee police spot the two suspects blocks away. They try stopping the 34 and 41-year-old men.
Get on the ground!
Police say one of the men had a gun and refused to drop it. That's when an officer opens fire.
To the ground! Drop on the ground!
Family identified the man killed as 41-year-old Anthony Virginia.
Shots fired, subject down with a gun. One more at gunpoint. 7 more squads.
The other man is told to stay put.
Get down on the ground! Wait! Wait!
Officers hold off on providing medical care because they say the suspect was still armed.
No, he's got the gun in his hand! He's holding the gun!
When officers eventually get closer, they say the gun was found next to the suspect. The other man was taken into custody.
Cuff him!
Oh, wow.
The family of the man killed says they believe that excessive force was used and they call the shooting unjust. They say they expect the investigation to be thorough and transparent. Ben?
Hey, look, I'll say this. Did they show the gun that they found on him, or they had an assault rifle? That looked like an assault rifle. Hey, that was a lot going on, but I'll say this. When you have a gun in your hand, hey, if you have, and they actually was robbing something, and you heard them shooting at somebody, so I don't know what that was before the encounter on the train tracks. But I'll say this, if they got a gun, hey, it is what it is. I tell people all the time, if you got a gun on you, it ain't gonna work out too good for you. As soon as you know the police is around, drop everything, drop to the ground, relax.
Like, just stop.
Just stop, relax. It is what it is. Maurice M. says, Tory, I saw no gun when they got closer. Hey, I'll say this. If you got a gun or you got something on you that can cause situations to escalate, just shut it down. Because you're not going to win that.
Like, if you have a gun, why run?
I'm just saying. If you got a gun, period, like police guns, when they approach a situation, you ain't gonna have no wins. It ain't gonna be no wins in that. And the family, they may want a little bit of thorough investigation, but it was guns involved. It looked like a shot got let off before they even got engaged with them on the tracks. If it's a gun involved, it's no wins for that, because the police got to make it home to their family, and you're not gonna win it. I don't even argue when people come to me and they say that it was a gun involved. I don't even get involved in it. It's too gray. It's too gray. And like I said, officers are there to gain control. And if you're not going to give them the control and you got a gun, hey, ain't no wins. The officer has to react and respond in the spirit of the moment, decisions, and then it's not going to come out good for you. I'll tell you that right now. It's not going to come out good for you. And I don't even argue about these type of situations. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more discussion, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Make history at the amazing 10th annual UNCF Mayor's Mass Ball on March 29th. Join Mayor Cavalier Johnson for an unforgettable evening that will transform lives. Every dollar raised helps promising local students achieve their college dreams through vital scholarships. This premier gala doesn't just celebrate our community, it builds future leaders. Be a part of Milwaukee's most meaningful social event of the year. Reserve your place now at uncf.org/MMB. That is uncf.org/MMB.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Women's History Month. Listen to one of our incredible Truth teammates highlight the remarkable achievements of Black women throughout history.
What's going on, Truth Nation? It is DT. For Women's History Month, I want to highlight the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, including the incredible impact she has made throughout her life. Born in Tennessee, Tina Turner began her musical career with her future husband, Ike Turner's band, the Kings of Rhythm, in 1956. She was born as Anna Mae Bullock and went on to record as part of the group Ike Turner's band hits like A Fool in Love. The Ike and Tina Turner Revue became one of the most formidable live acts in history. In the 1980s, Tina Turner launched one of the greatest comebacks in music history. Her 1984 multi-platinum album, Private Dancer, contained the hit What's Love Got to Do With It, which won the Grammy Award for Record of the Year and became her first #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100. Tina Turner has sold more than 100 million records worldwide, becoming one of the best artists of all time. She is a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award winner, as also ranked as the 100 greatest artists of all time by Rolling Stone magazine. In January of 1988, Tina Turner set a Guinness World Record for the largest paying concert attendance for a solo artist by performing in front of approximately 188,000 people at Maracana Stadium in Rio de Janeiro. Tina, thank you for reminding women all over the world that life, success has no expiration date. Don't quit, navigate through the adversity, and life will reward you back. Tina Turner, we salute you and we thank you.
Tune in to The Truth as we celebrate the greatness of Black women all month long.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. Growing up, Wallace Peoples couldn't stay out of trouble. He spent time in and out of juvenile detention and was convicted of armed robbery in 1997 and sent to prison for 20 years. It was during that extended stay behind bars that changed his perspective and led him to reinvent himself. Today, Wallace Peoples goes by Wallow267, and he's dedicated his life to sharing positive messages, especially to those from underserved backgrounds. His greatest tool? It's humor.
You understand, if you can make somebody laugh, you can make them listen. And laughter don't got no race, no color, no age, no gender. That's one of the things that we all agree upon. No matter where you at in life, you want to laugh.
Wallow267 uses his ability to make people laugh as a hook to get them to listen to his advocacy for reform and to help other people from underserved backgrounds avoid the pitfalls that derailed his younger years. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner. On the Black Business Beat.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth, powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Sneim. Milwaukee Bucks dropping a tough one last night in Phoenix as Devin Booker hit the go-ahead bucket with under 3 seconds remaining as Milwaukee fell to the Suns 108-106. After the game, head coach Doc Rivers on the missed chances late in the game.
I think we got a wide-open shot by Gary Green, a wide-open shot by Gary Trent down the stretch of the game that we just didn't make. It's a make-miss league. I think Giannis made the right decision in those plays.
Next up for the Bucks is Denver on Wednesday night. Over to baseball, where the Milwaukee Brewers wrapped up their spring training with a 4-2 win over the Rockies on Monday. Next up is the season opener in New York against the Yankees on Thursday. And lastly, over to college hoops, where Juju Watkins will miss the rest of the NCAA tournament. ESPN's Sham Charania reporting that the sophomore guard tore her ACL in her right knee. The sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We have teamed up with Associated Bank for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky business owners will win an opportunity to spotlight their brand and journey right here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. To sign up your business for the spotlight, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure right here on The Truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC. We got this story that we got to discuss because I talked about it when it first took place, but now we have somebody in custody. We got somebody in custody and they're pleading guilty. The story about the man that dropped the baby from the balcony in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee man is charged with child abuse. He pleads not guilty after alleging dropping the 1-year-old from a second-story balcony during a domestic dispute. We got video, if you're watching in the chat. Let's listen.
Man charged with dropping a 1-year-old from a second-story balcony pleaded not guilty in court this morning. 31-year-old Jaimin Elin is charged with domestic abuse, child abuse, and battery. The incident happened earlier this month at a home near 41st and Hampton. The baby's mother says she's still amazed 1-year-old Stormy had only bruises after she was dropped. According to the criminal complaint, this started with a domestic dispute.
Do you think he was trying to kill her?
He was definitely trying to, because for you to be choking her and you punched her and threw her off the balcony.
Wow.
Elin faces up to 12 years in prison.
Oh, wow. See, and this is why I say, this is why I always talk about emotional intelligence and being able to calm your emotions. Hopefully we can get ahead of this and talk about these things, where people can harness in on self-development, understanding how, to be able to understand how to manage your anger. And then you see things like this. This reminded me when I heard it of the Tyler Perry movie. That scene in the Tyler Perry movie where the man, went and grabbed the kids and did something similar to this. And I'll tell you this, it don't matter how angry you are with somebody, you got to reevaluate certain understandings when it comes to when you try to lash out and try to, actually, may cause death. You can't flash out like that. You can't flash out to that degree. I understand that people have domestic arguments, people have situations going on, but this is not it. That ain't it. That ain't it, fam. That ain't it. But I want to get into this other story. I think this is out of Ohio. Authorities have found the body of a 13 missing-year-old girl, Kiamani. People have been tagging me in this on social media, and just a sad story. They're saying her father, Daryl Jones, who was initially charged with abduction, is now charged with murder. We got some video of this if you're watching in the chat. Let's listen.
Major breaking news tonight. We want to head out live to 13 Action News reporter Alexis Means, who is standing by on Miami Street. Again, this is about the discovery of a body in the case of Kiamani Lateague. Alexis, what have we learned tonight?
Sasha, this is not the outcome that the Toledo Police Department or this community wanted. Emotions ran high as the coroner pulled what police say is the body of a 13-year-old out of this abandoned building. Police took pictures on the second floor of this abandoned home where they believe they found 13-year-old Kiamani Lateague dead. Her mother is devastated.
I just want to know if it's my baby. They're still not telling me nothing. It takes nothing. It's nothing to take a picture. It's nothing to, you know what I'm saying, let me know when the coroner's bringing her out so I can see if that's indeed my baby.
Detectives say they received information that the girl was in the home.
Came over here, went to the house, and we discovered a deceased person.
Do you suspect it's her?
We do.
Kiamani Lateague went missing from her home on Elm Street nearly a week ago. Police issued a warrant for her father, Darnell Jones. According to this court document, he gave officers inconsistent statements about the activity with the victim and their whereabouts. The father spoke to 13 Action News when Kiamani went missing. He claimed she was scared to be home alone.
I came over here because she said that if it seemed like somebody was trying to break into the house. So I sat for an hour, me and my cousin, we sat over here. And we left around like 12:30-ish.
Police are looking for the father. You going to jail! Tempers flared as family and friends rushed to the scene after hearing a body was found in the rundown home. Do you believe there's only one person involved in this?
Until we're done doing the whole investigation, I can't tell you how many people are involved.
Kiamani's mother recalled the last time she talked to her daughter.
I seen her on the 15th. Her dad brought her down to my house. Apparently my mother gave him permission. And honestly, it was just me loving on my kid. You know, we played video games.
Good times, she says she'll miss sharing with her daughter.
There's no reason my daughter would ever be over here. My daughter go to school, go home. Go to school, go home. She go play her basketball, come home.
Hey, look, some people been tagging me in this. I shared it on my page on social media. But once again, a weird story. Father gave wrong information. And this is where when I get involved in homicides or missing, I always pay attention to the emotions of the parent. And we just had a situation with Javion Buford, where we was looking for him for years, a couple years, and they just found his remains. But some of the family members weren't upset when we were searching, which made us question, why weren't they upset? Their loved one is missing, nobody knows where they are, and you're calm. You're not showing signs of distraught. And we was making notes, and I always make notes when I'm out and about, and people, I know when there's real emotion to a tragic, and I know when there's somebody that possibly could or should have certain emotions, but they're not showing any of those things. And I always say that's because their mind is calm because they already know what happened. Like they already know what's going on, so they're not in a hysterical state. They make it fake like this, like their sadness. But when I know how people act when it's a level of uncertainty, I know it. I can tell it, I can feel it, I can see it. And then sometimes when I get into certain spaces where the friend is calm and a best friend died or a family member is not feeling the appropriate or showing the appropriate emotions, I raise an eyebrow, DJ Brother Z. And I asked her, so y'all was close? And you nonchalant a little bit? But you talked to him a couple of days ago. Y'all was cool. And you out here acting a fool, like over exaggerating your emotions when the natural emotions, you can't fake how people feel when their loved one is truly hurt or something is going on, they have a certain energy that they give off. And I deal with it all the time as an advocate. But when you can see when they faking it too. So I seen a lot of that. But I don't know what the father actually did, what his involvement is, but he lied about it. And hopefully, if he did something to his daughter, I mean, you would hate to think that would be the case. But sometimes you gotta, you don't even know no more. But it ain't no rules to the game no more. It ain't no rules out here. And that's why we gotta regroup, rethink, and reshape sometimes, because we gotta create a new situation when the old situation ain't working. And we working to create it. Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. Salute to Truth Nation for being active and trying to navigate through a lot of this. But I deal with missing girls all the time, and people was tagging me in her missing stuff, and then all of a sudden it was live footage of this situation on the internet, and they was tagging me in it. And sometimes I wish I can go to Ohio and other places where there are missing people that they reach out to me from all over. Some people reach out to me and they say, Tory, can you just give us advice on how to handle these missing situations? Because I'm known from finding a lot of missing people. And you got to get out there. You got to roll up your sleeves, and you got to, whatever. I don't even tell y'all all what we have to go through to find a missing person, because y'all don't need to know all of that. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just best, some things just best not to be said, but by any means necessary, we try to get to the bottom of it, especially when it's an urgency, when it's young kids, when it's innocent life. All right, well, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Milwaukee Black Talk.
And Joe Biden wasn't very controversial. He wasn't. Now, he might have done some things in his long, storied past, but if you all have been in the same line of work for 46 years, you probably have done some questionable things too. Joe Biden was a safe choice. He was a level of common sense. He was a level of stability. He was a familiar political commodity. Democrats don't have that right now. Democrats are caught with their pants completely down.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Victory Garden Initiative is an 1.5 acre urban farm that sits right in the middle of the Black community on Richards and Concordia. I don't know if you know that Harambe is a food desert. So within its borders, there are no major grocery stores. So people rely on things like dollar store, corner stores, liquor stores to buy food, which is all unhealthy. Everything we grow, and we grow everything, tomatoes to potatoes to carrots to corn to onions, and so on. And everything we grow is free to the community. It started in 2009. They wanted to build a sustainable food production system that was healthy and sustainable. And what that meant was giving people the resources to grow their own food, and the skills were successful.
The Resource Center property owners and partners to the resources they need, whether it's rental assistance, legal aid, mediation, or tenant education. No matter what your situation is, you do not have to go at it alone. Get assistance today by visiting renthelpmke.org. That is renthelpmke.org, or stop by their office at 728 North James Lovell Street in Milwaukee. At the Milwaukee Rental Housing Resource Center, they are here for all your housing needs.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cass Bowers, Executive Director of All in Wisconsin. Did you know that there's an election coming up on April 1st? I encourage you to get out and vote. For democracy to work for all of us, it must include all of us. Vote to protect our rights and freedoms. I also urge you to vote no on the voter ID amendment on the ballot. Safe elections mean that no one is left out of the process, and we don't need more barriers to voting. Make your voices heard. Visit allinwi.org for more information.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Mr. D-O-double-R, I say, yeah, buddy. Rolling like a big shot. Chevy tuned up like a NASCAR pit stop. Fresh paint job, fresh inside. Is the outside frame in the trunk wide? Or the rims big? Do it right good. Lean back, right hand on the plywood. Cream on the inside.
Truth Nation, the Gruber Law Office's The Analysis Live is back, and it takes place this Saturday, March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Tickets are selling fast, so get your tickets at taliveshow.com. Look, join Thanasis Antetokounmpo for a live show with special guests Brandon Jennings, Brooke Lopez, Kyle Kuzma, and more. Hey, look, it's going to be powerful. There will also be free food and drinks and a great time. Visit taliveshow.com to get your tickets now for Thanasis Live this Saturday at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. That's taliveshow.com. Go get your tickets to Thanasis Live at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Now, we got a story. This is a kind of a fun story. This is funny because this is a young kid right here in Wisconsin, calls 911 because the parent ate the ice cream. Call 911 on the parent for eating the ice cream. This is a fun story. We got video. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. Let's listen.
In today's handoff to Joe and Erica, a little boy in Racine County, Wisconsin, was so upset after his mom ate his ice cream that he called police. Listen to the call the 4-year-old made to 911.
Hello? This is Racine County 911. What's the address of the emergency?
My mom is being bad.
The confused dispatcher finally gets a hold of Mom, who certainly has her hands full.
Hi, what's going on over there?
Oh, this little one got the phone, and he's 4.
Okay.
And we're trying to catch him because he said he was going to call 911. And I just told her to put her to jail.
Oh, wow.
So leave me alone.
I ate his ice cream, so that's probably why he's calling 911.
Can you forgive Mom?
Okay.
When officers went to the home, the boy told them he did change his mind about sending his mom to jail. Police then returned the next day with a surprise delivery. Lots of ice cream.
Oh, he was serious. You could hear it in his voice.
Oh, wow. He got ice cream in the end, but hey, don't mess with the ice cream. Don't mess with people's ice cream. 2 things you don't mess with. You don't mess with nobody ice cream, and you don't mess with nobody cornbread. Don't go mess with the cornbread. Don't go mess with nobody ice cream. I'm trying to tell you. It ain't going to turn out good for you. But all's well that ends well. Maurice M. said it be your own children. It be your own children. Hey, look. Hey, he learned it from somewhere. He learned how to call 911 from somewhere when somebody acted bad. So salute to the cops for bringing the ice cream, and salute to the mom. Maybe when the cops left, she was like, I'm going to get you. Don't call the police on me. But then they came back, circled back with the ice cream, and so she just kind of probably let it slide. I don't know. DJ Brother Z, don't be messing with no ice cream now. Don't get your hand caught in the cookie jar. You know, I tell y'all thought I was joking when I said that cornbread. I don't like nobody messing with my cornbread. Leave my cornbread alone. You know, I got the big piece. I want the big piece. I feel that I'm going to call 911 next time my cornbread come up missing. But I appreciate you tuning into the show today. Hey, it was another powerful show. Join me tomorrow for another powerful conversation. Also, do not forget to go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to register for the cleanup, the big cleanup, April 12th. We got 3 locations. Those that sign up for the last location will get cousin subs. And salute to 1MKE for being a sponsor. Hey, look, it's going to be powerful. Hey, DJ Buzzy, anything else you want to say before we get out there?
No, I'm all good.
Hey, well.
All right, Tory Lowe from Waterfall. Green don't always mean go.
All right. Keep your head on the swivel. Green don't always mean go. And look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you. Dr. Ken Harris up next. Oh, salute to the chat. Hey, salute to my people in the chat. God bless. Have a blessed day.
That's how that shit tell me, man. That's how my daddy raised me. That glittering may not be gold, don't let nobody play me. If you are my homeboy, you